Greatest ever done it. You can learn from it. Dope game ran it. Rap game run it. Street cred hunted. Nerd turned D-boy, not in genetic makeup. Baby, I'm a G-boy. Hashtag street boy. Wrong one to fuck with. Cross me at your own risk. Play to get back. You can trust this. I am far from average. To me, it ain't no such thing. Me against the world, so fuck it, I let my nuts hang. I've been known to bust bang. Kill it if the need be. I don't need an army when the smoke clears, he sees me. Rhyming at his finest. Unlike those vaginas that claim that they the real deal, knowing I'm the highest. Top of the command chain. I am what the streets made. I am what the hood built. You are just a weak lame. Homicidal maniac with suicidal tendencies. You're more like a punk band. I'm more like a pedigree of nigga you ain't seen yet. So y'all cannot describe me. I'm a freak of nature. Don't shit here surprise me. Money over everything except the nigga's manhood. I am not a prostitute. You don't understand hood. Fuck a nigga getting his unless he about to give me mine. Otherwise he prime beat. Shocking when I up the 9 and hit it with it 7 times. Fuck you thought I'm civilized? Welcome to the jungle, fool. It's only right I punish you. Nigga with an attitude. Feel like MC Ren felt. Quiet on the set, you funky bitch, you get your friends slipped. I give your game a black eye. Blame it on the black guy. I be on some nigga shit, I'm niggerish, so that's why. Guess what my religion is? This is what the business is. Exposure for you garbage ass rappers. You can witness this. Came to bang your game up. Pussies think they came up. Oh, you got a drop head? So now you think you famous? I hear it's dangerous and we don't know your name, cuz we don't even give a fuck. Rappers get it fucked up. Security say you nah, this they side job. They don't want no conflict, they don't want no problems, nah.
Salute, and welcome. Welcome back over to the Black Ocean. Now swimming in the deep end with your host, the one and only Great Black Shark. And yes, family, yes, you saw the thumbnail and the title of tonight's broadcast. We have a lot of ground to cover here tonight, and these are some very important issues, okay? And I've seen everybody talking about a lot of these things in the news cycle. We're going to touch on all of it. Yes, we are going to cover it from the A road to the zero, like one of my uncles always says. And we're going to have to teach some lessons over here because I've heard everybody's different takes on it. As you know, there are certain stories that once I hear them, I wait on the facts to come out before I say anything definitively or whatever. And now all the facts are out with a great number of these things we're going to review here tonight. We are going to point out the detriments of a great deal, okay? Because see, tonight, this is another broadcast where primarily I am talking to you sisters. So what I want you to do, come in here, be prepared to listen, because you know that anything that I tell you, giving it to you from a place of concern, okay? So we're going to start out here tonight. One of the main issues that's been in the news here, okay? The young lady on your screen here, you know her as the sassy trucker. Pretty sure everybody's heard of this lady. If not, you know, on YouTube, she's on TikTok. And, you know, she went over into Dubai and stuff in some situations. So before we get into that, let me scroll up and then greet my esteemed guests that I see. I see Bang Pros over here. Welcome, good brother. I see Patricia Slade. Only Pamela's Way, Patricia Jenkins, Erica Bailey in the house. Okay, I see some chick named Star, First Sergeant. What's going on? Salute and welcome to you and everyone that will be joining us here tonight. Let me know if you can hear me A-OK, family. Are there any audio issues? Because I expect there to be problems. I mean, listen, if they coming after Professor Black Truth, all of us, they usually come after all of us sooner or later, especially when we're trying to teach something educational to our people. So let me know if you can hear me loud and clear. Give me a thumbs up in the chat. Okay, let me know if you can hear me. Everybody that's in here, let me know. Okay, because I want to make sure that whatever I can do on my end to straighten things out, I get that done so that we can get the message across for everybody that'll be joining us over here. Everybody hear me okay? Give me a thumbs up if you can. All right, I'm looking over here in the chat. Sure, I can see everyone. There we go. All right. Over here. All right, I see Erica Bailey. You say you can see me. Nightfall Drop. Okay. Courtney G. All right, I'm seeing the thumbs up. Okay, good. Glad that everybody can hear me well so far. Again, expect interruptions or what have you in the stream, okay? So with that said, we're going to go ahead and get started about some stuff because, see, you know, me, one of the things I try to do is to point out a lot of stuff that other people may miss, or I'll go even deeper into it than some of them will. Okay, everybody reports in their own style, but some of this stuff is very concerning, okay? Because, see, let me talk to those of you that are not very well traveled yet or don't travel often outside of America. One thing you're going to have to understand, there's a big difference between the Western world and the Eastern world, okay? A lot of stuff that goes on here in America, a lot of things they tolerate, a lot of things that have become normalized that we see that are completely out of order, okay? Excuse me. I'm telling you, we drink swig this water here. I was over here eating some spicy stuff. That's my thing. I love spicy food. Excuse me, family. But a lot of things that we see over here that have been normalized, it's not tolerated outside of this country, okay? It is not tolerated, all right? This goes for men and women alike, but yes, primarily we're addressing the things that have happened to a couple of sisters, and I'm going to show you how it connects to even those of you sisters that don't participate in some of this behavior. But somebody got to tell you the truth, because, see, part of being a man that cares about his people, you tell the truth no matter who you offend, whether you like it or not. You may not want to hear it now, but a part of a man's job is to disseminate the truth, okay, for the best interest of the collective. Not just himself, not just one or two people, but for everybody. So now, when you leave here and you go to most of these Eastern nations, okay, understand that those are true patriarchies in every sense of the word. Now, what do I mean by that? America is not that anymore, okay? Once upon a time, it may have been, but that is no longer the case, all right? We see all the policy issues, primarily the damn Democrats that are in office now, okay? That particular colorful community, okay, they got all these policies and stuff. Everything is believe all women, okay? You can be as disrespectful to men as you want, all right? All of that flies over here. The minute that you leave the Western world, you head over to the United Arab Emirates, continent of Africa, other parts of Europe, even parts of the Caribbean. You better leave that shit here for your own safety, especially if you're traveling without a man. Let me tell you something. All of you that are running around talking about, I don't need no man, I don't need no man. That, you can get by with that in the Western world because, see, what a lot of sisters don't understand, I'm going to disseminate this in a way that the intelligent can understand it. This is one of those times where anybody with 2 ears should listen. That's why you have 2 ears and 1 mouth. Understand that due to the way society has been shaped over here, it's created a bubble, a comfortable bubble, okay? Where you can pretty much do whatever you want and have minimal consequences as women across the board. We ain't just talking about black women, okay? Let's be clear on that. You leave here, what you start to see is there are immediate consequences for disrespect, okay, of any kind. You have to understand that some of these countries, it goes beyond just what you say. They don't respect women even when they're carrying themselves, in a particular light. We're going to prove that here tonight, too, because, see, if you look at the post, detained overseas, TikTok star Tierra Allen, she goes by the Sassy Truck on YouTube. The sister was a truck driver. Held in Dubai, accused of screaming at a rental car firm for refusing to return her items, okay? So the items they were talking about were her passport, all her personal effects, because when you go over there, you rent cars and stuff. You have to leave that stuff with them or what have you. And anything goes wrong, hey, they have the right to confiscate that. Here's what I don't like about some people that was reporting on this. Let me explain something. I'm going to prove everything I'm saying, because, see, a lot of us that have traveled and have been to some of these places, yes, I have. Let me tell you a rule about Dubai. She did not just get detained for screaming, even though that is a part of the thing that you're not supposed to do over there. You will get locked up for cursing, any type of profanity in public. Do you understand me? That's man or woman. See, I saw some people spending talking about, a woman, you know what I'm saying? Don't lock up a woman for what a man get. No. You're going to learn about theocratic governments over here tonight. We're going to go into detail about a lot of that. They are under Sharia law, okay? It don't matter what we think as Americans about how unfair it is. Oh, that's crazy, this, that, third. Let me tell you something. When you go to someone else's country, that's just like somebody coming in your house. You're not going to have nobody in your house telling you what you can and can't do. I know I'm not. I'm going to tell you that right now. Where I pay the cost to be the boss at both of my homes, you're not going to come in either one of them telling me what I can and can't do. You're going to be respectful of the rules. You get your ass bounced out, okay? When it comes to a country, it's that way. And see, let me talk to these sisters that this applies to. This is where America has done women in general a disservice. But we talking primarily our sisters, okay? Because every other community outside of ours has their own advocates. Sisters, let me tell you something. When you leave here, how it's tolerated and you even celebrate being disrespectful to men because of the way a lot of you treat us, you're not going to do that over there in them other countries. See, I've often told you many times over here, over the years on this channel, one of the primary responsibilities of a man is to make sure that his woman, who's naturally led more to make decisions off emotions in general, you have to make sure that she understands that, hey, listen, making decisions off of emotion has consequences that could cost you, okay? Let me go further to say this about travelers, all right, from the United States, especially those of us who are black. Most of us who grew up here in the South, because I know I've never really had any incidents traveling abroad, okay? Most of us that grew up here in the South, we know to carry ourselves with a certain manner of respect and decorum. I'm going to make a statement. It's going to piss some people off, but it is the truth. I'm going to name some states over here in particular that if you come from them, you're going to have some issues. Your ass come from New York. If you come from New Jersey, Chicago, Philadelphia, some parts of California, you go out the country with that attitude that you display over there, you gonna have some real big problems very quickly. Let me explain something else to you about going overseas as Americans that a lot of you probably do not know. Understand that today on the world stage, America is not looked at the way it once was as respected, okay? Because they've seen a lot of hypocrisy. And when you go overseas, even as a black person, primarily they view you as an American first, okay? That's just the truth of it. Now, am I saying there's no anti-black racism abroad? Hell no, that's not what I'm saying. I want you to follow me. They view you as American, as attached to the government. So any type of disrespect, if those people in that culture already kind of have a side-eye kind of look at America, if you disrespect them, they take that extremely personal. You understand me? See, that blue passport of ours, okay, when we travel, it can be a good thing if you carry yourself like you got some sense, or it can be a very bad thing, okay? You carry yourself like you got some sense outside this country, that blue passport holds a lot of weight, okay? But now, if you disrespectful and you rude and you think you're going to run your mouth, let me tell you something. What other countries do, it's not like here where most part, well, here to tell the truth, we treat foreigners damn near today better than our own people. You go over there to their countries, they prioritize their people 100% of the time. You understand me? 100% of the time. I don't give a damn if it's good, bad, right, or wrong. They are going to side with their people first over you. You can say that's fucked up. You say you don't like it. You don't have to. I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you what I know, not what I think, okay? So see, for me, let me tell you ladies something in particular. A lot of ladies like to get together in a bunch of groups, you know, a bunch of women all together traveling. That's fine. I encourage travel. You know I do. Let me tell you something. You better start vetting the people that you travel with. Because right now, there are people that I know, I wouldn't go down the street with them, let alone travel anywhere. I wouldn't. I'm going to tell you that right now. We couldn't go around the corner together because they don't know how to act, okay? You don't take uncivilized, irresponsible, rude people with you out the country. That is a disservice to you. I am telling you now, you will learn the hard way. Go back and look at what happened to the departed sister Shanquella Robinson. I hated to hear that. You know, I reported on that over here. That was similar a situation she was in. She did not truly understand the type of people that she was traveling with, okay? Now, you fast forward to this situation with Tierra Allen here. Family, first of all, I want you to take a good look at this picture, all right? Let me tell you something about Dubai. Women, our women, one of the things you're going to have to get in your head, today, what I've noticed is a lot of women have this, I'm going to follow the crowd trend mindset, all right? What I mean by that is damn near no originality amongst some women. Everybody want to wear. One of my homeboys, man, a good brother, shout out to brother Marcus from the mainstream. You know Marcus, the comedian. He has a term. I got to give you credit for your term. He called him the default bitch. Yeah, I gotta call it what it is. What he means is all of them got the same type of weave, heavy makeup, tattoos, long eyelashes, all these nails and all that crap. Everybody trying to look like the same chick. And see, that carries over to like, okay, let's look at the Home Depot chick. I want you to follow me here. This is going to make sense. The Home Depot chick, when she came out in her apron, got some attention. Okay, everybody was like, oh, that's the next big thing. And what really put fuel on the fire, not just that she came out in the apron and people started talking about her behind jumped up and showed, ooh, Shaq was in my DMs. The next thing you know, every time you turn around, now that's all you seen. Bunch of chicks in Home Depot aprons. Wasn't nobody even thinking about doing that until that started that. Okay? So now what I'm showing you is that high mindset gets you in trouble because, see, wise people and see, men, we know this. Because let's call it what it is. No matter what race you are as a man, we can't afford not to be held accountable for our actions. We can't, especially as black men. That costs us. That is a life or death thing for us as men, okay? you better know something about the history and the rules of the country that you're traveling to, okay? Before you touch foot on the soil. And when in doubt, you better ask questions. And one of the things that'll go well with you until you learn things, be calm, be courteous, and try to find out things. Because if you don't, see, a lot of people hadn't said this the way it need to be said, but don't worry, I'm going to take care of it here tonight. When you get locked up abroad, that is the worst thing ever. Now, I've never had to be, but let me tell you something. I know some people that have had that experience. I don't care what country you're in. The laws are not the same as here in America. All that, you know your rights stuff. I got rights. No, you don't. First thing you got to consider when you're somewhere else, understand this. You are not a citizen of that nation. So you damn sure don't have the same rights as their people. And if you get into it with them and you can't resolve that conflict peacefully, they got home field advantage on you every day, all day. You understand what I'm telling you? Okay? So I just want to lay that part out and make it clear. What we going to do, though, we're going to examine some reporting on the situation, and then I'm going to come back and we're going to further break some things down because, see, excuse me, I got several lessons to teach over here tonight. I got to do it, okay? Because it's important that somebody tells the truth the way it needs to be told for the women that want to listen. Because, like, let me be clear. For those of you women that can't nobody tell you nothing, boss chick independent, I'm not talking to you. Don't even worry about it. Life is a teacher. You will learn the lesson one way or another. You only have two ways to pick, the easy way or the hard way. So I'm not talking to you. Don't even worry about it. You don't even have to bother disagreeing with me. Don't worry about that. It's cool. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the black women that like to travel, okay, and want to enjoy their experiences without being harassed, okay? Those are the women I'm talking to, okay? And I'm showing you at the same time the type of women that are the problem, because I've said it before. Ladies, y'all gonna have to turn this thing around. I can speak about it as a man, but at the end of the day, I'm a man. I'm not a woman. You sisters are gonna have to rain holy hell down on certain women that misrepresent your image abroad, because it's dangerous. And I'm going to prove it here tonight. I'm going to prove it across the board with everything I say. Some of you will be learning some of this information for the first time. Others of you that are seasoned travelers, you're going to be like, yep, I already knew about that. Either way, we're going to put the information out here for those that choose to find it and apply it, okay? So with that said, we're going to analyze a couple of things. Then we're going to come back with some commentary.
On Fox, the last 2 months are described as terrifying for a Houston woman who we're told is being detained in Dubai.
Fox 26's Domly Keith joining us live near downtown Houston with why she's being held. Domly.
Well, the crime she's charged with may surprise you, and Dubai is increasingly becoming a vacation spot for a number of Houston women. One who's there right now, according to her social media page, is trying to get back to the Bayou City, but according to her mom, her passport has been confiscated because she was charged with screaming in public.
It also could result in prison time. So it's very scary.
The trip turned terrifying for Tiara Young Allen when her mom says she was a passenger in a friend's rental car and they got into an accident there in Dubai. Tina Baxter says when her daughter went to the company to retrieve her ID, credit card, and other items left in the rental, Baxter says it did not go well.
She found out that she could only receive those items if she paid an undisclosed amount of money. She dealt with a very aggressive individual, a young man there who was screaming at her.
Baxter says her 29-year-old daughter ultimately yelled back at the rental car agent, she says, resulting in her being charged for screaming there in Dubai.
And so she is in jail for one reason and one reason alone. She raised her voice. In that country, a female is not even allowed to raise her voice. If she raises her voice, it's punishable by jail time.
It's been very emotional. There are some days I stay up all night crying.
They have a strict law system that is really based on theocracy.
This website warns, quote, laws and customs are very different, so be aware of your actions to ensure they don't offend while in United Arab Emirates. Now, after Baxter says her daughter was charged with screaming in Dubai, her passport has been taken, and the American social media influencer who works as a truck driver can't leave the UAE, according to her mom. And her mom says she's been placed under a travel ban pending the outcome of the investigation.
It's very frightening. The longer she's been there, the more reality has started to kick in.
In our opinion, she did not commit a crime. Don't punish women for doing the same thing a man can do in Dubai. It's not fair and it's not right.
Let me pause this right here because, see, now we got to get started breaking some things down that people didn't really go into in detail the way they need to, but that's what this channel is for. First things first, let's deal with what her mother said. Her mother said that as time goes by, the reality is setting in as how serious the situation is. Yes, it is, because like I took time to break down the onset of the broadcast, when you leave the Western world, no one is playing with you. No one. Yes, it's real now. Yes. See, I guarantee you that when the sister was over here, she probably got the type of reputation. Because we're going to keep it real over here tonight. We're not going to sugarcoat a damn thing because, see, somebody got to tell our women the truth. Because I want you to be safe when you travel. I want all our people to be safe. But see, this is a recurring problem here, and I'm going to point out something about this mentality here. A lot of people are soft-mouthed. That does not help or protect a woman. You help and protect women by always telling them the truth, no matter how pissed off they get or what they don't want to hear. The minute that you don't do that as a man, you have dropped the ball on what your job is supposed to be. If you're going to be a man in the traditional sense, that's how I was raised, old school. Now, like I said, a mother was talking about the reality is setting in, okay, and how serious it is. And yes, this is a serious situation because, see, let me tell you something. The women over there in the United Arab Emirates, dude, if they ever leave from over there, a lot of them don't go back. A lot of them do not go back. Listen, I'm going to show you some stuff about what happened to women over there tonight. You ain't going to believe it. Oh, yeah, we're going to get to that. But see, this brother right here on the screen, Cornell X. Now, Brother Cornell, you're a Muslim. You know that, okay? He didn't go into detail about the theocratic system because it's Sharia law, okay? He didn't really get into detail about it. It's Sharia law over there in Dubai. That's what he should have said. Be specific when you're going to give information, okay? Then you said she just got in trouble for raising her voice. No, the woman was arguing and cursing at them. It is illegal to do that. So you got two things. You screaming in public, being rude, and you cursing. Two things, okay? Two things. He said that in his opinion, they don't think she did anything wrong. Let me tell you something. Your opinion ain't worth two dead damn flies in another nation. Your opinion don't count for shit. Let's go further into this. Understand something that when it comes to over there, dealing with the Arabs in particular, let me tell you where you got to thank your boy Jim Crow Joe at, all right? See, this is where politics comes into play when you're traveling. You better understand the relationships between our country and others when you're traveling. I want you to listen up. Take notes on this. You young people that are traveling especially, take notes on this. Under Donald Trump, okay, we were dependent on our own energy supplies, okay, the Keystone Pipeline, XYZ, okay. We were dependent on our own energy supplies. That's why the gas prices were lower and everything, okay. Joe Biden, dumbass, got in here, took us off of our own energy independence, and got back in bed with OPEC, which are basically the gangsters of the resource world, all right? This is why them gas prices started going up and they ain't coming down no time soon, all right? So now, what does this have to do with everything? I'm gonna show you something. Unless you are of significant notoriety like Brittany Griner was, and they can use you as being LGBTQ as a political chess piece, the average black person, just because you got fame on TikTok, YouTube, you worthless to the Biden administration. I'm telling you how these gangsters think. I'm telling you. So they talk about black people gangsters and stuff. Let me tell you something. The most gangster motherfucker you ever met is a white man in a suit. Either political party, either one, okay? they're looking at it like, yeah, okay, she over there, but to get you back, we ain't really getting no political mileage out of it. So shit, it is what it is. We don't want to mess up our relationship with the corporations and OPEC, okay? That I'm telling you the truth. This is hard to hear, but you better listen to me, okay? So see, this goes far beyond what you talking about and what your opinion is around here at Quanell X. Because see, I got to say this like it is. I have a serious problem with men that try to sugarcoat things when it comes to the behavior of some, not all of our women. It's bad enough that when women get in circles together, they try to pad each other's feelings and not tell each other the truth. Problem is, when you take that irresponsible and bad behavior out into the real world, there are consequences for it. You will pay for that. Do you hear me? A brother that loves you is going to stop you and tell you, hey, whoa, sister, don't do this. If you do, this is going to be the definite outcome, and it's not going to be anything you want to deal with. See, let's keep it real, ladies. Right now, back to business, let's use the Brittany Griner situation. Did you see the look on her face when they finally released her? Whether you like her or not is not the point. I want you to think back to how she looked. Remember how traumatized she looked with her head down? She wasn't really talking about all the stuff they did to her, and wisely so, because until she got back on American soil, she knew to keep her mouth shut. Let me tell you something. You over there in Russia at the time with her situation, and you remember the LGBTQ community, and they do not like that over there? Oh, yes, she was mistreated. Yes, she was. Okay? Compare that to the average person that doesn't have her fame. A woman, okay, a black woman. You go somewhere, pop off at the mouth and get hemmed up. No man with you, because, see, you should travel with a man in these countries. Brother, relative, somebody. That's the wisest thing to do. You get a lot more different treatment then, okay? But you go over there by yourself, you thinking that your mouth gives you power, and it does not. See, you know what? Let me amend that. Let me amend it. Your mouth only gives you power if you're a skilled orator, if you're a skilled person with language and knowing how to use your natural feminine demeanor, because I'm telling you where a woman's power is. Your power isn't in being loud and aggressive. Your power is in being soft-spoken, feminine, and intelligent, thinking your way out of situations, not feeling, okay? When you start to try to do what you think you're able to do because you're trying to imitate masculinity, that's where it's finna go left, because you're out of order, all right? Now, I'm not saying you let anybody treat you any kind of way. What I'm saying in particular is when you go outside of the country, you better carry yourself a certain way if you want to get back over here safely, all right? And see, when you got guys like Quanell X and Umar and all the rest of them that just kiss your ass and don't tell you when you're wrong, ask yourself one question. Do these people really care about you? The Derrick Jackson and all the rest of them, they blow smoke up your ass, but you clearly see it's a problem. A person that cares about you pull you to the side and check you on your behavior, or at least give you the option to reflect. Now, after that, you're a grown adult. You can do what you want to do, but there will be consequences for your actions. That's how life works in the real world, okay? So that's the issue that I took with what he's saying. I'm going to say it one more time before we let this play. Your opinion, what you feel, what you think, it does not matter when you're dealing with another sovereign nation. It does not. That is not power to get anything accomplished. You understand? I prefer to teach people to think before, not after. Before you get yourself in a situation that you might not be able to get out of. Because, see, let's be clear. In a lot of these countries, if something go left, they can get rid of you just like that. And nobody will be the wiser or say anything, okay? It's happened many times, unfortunately. And see, today, a lot more of our people are starting to travel outside the country, and I do encourage it, but I encourage traveling wisely. Be respectful of the laws of another nation, even if it don't make sense to you, okay? Hey, there was a few years back, I want to say this was South Korea. I forget the guy's name. I think it was a white guy. He went over there, okay? I think he was trying to do something about some type of religion, okay? It might have been, I think it was South Korea. Could have been North Korea, because they rarely ever let people in there, but one of the Koreas over there. Anyway, no, it was Singapore, my bad. He went over there trying to, talk about, he trying to bring Christ and all this other stuff to him, and they had laws against that, and they caned his ass. They didn't kill him, but they beat the shit out of his ass with them canes. See, some of these punishments over there, it ain't just, okay, we're going to lock you up and take you to jail. Oh, no. For example, any brothers and sisters that have been over there to United Arab Emirates, you can bear me witness to this. One of the things they'll do to you over there, you get caught stealing, boy, you better make it count. Because if they catch you, they'll chop your damn hand off. Don't believe me, look it up. Your ass ain't got but 2 times to get some good stuff. Steal over there if you want to and get caught. Watch, okay? Oh, I know it sounds barbaric, but see, what you don't understand is this is a part of the world that still operates in like an archaic sense. They actually will stone you to death for certain things over there. I'm telling you the truth, what I know, not what I think, okay? So I'm just saying all this, you have to keep in mind that when you going somewhere, you can't just up and go because everybody going. Ask yourself, what do you know about how that country and that government operates? That's what a smart person does. But hey, let's let this continue.
Now, the 29-year-old does now have an attorney there in Dubai, and her mom says she's told that she could face jail time because there is surveillance video of her screaming. Now, we have reached out to the U.S. and the UAE embassies. Will government officials step in and give her assistance? I'm still awaiting responses. Reporting live near downtown Houston, I'm Damalie Keith, Fox 26 News.
So I want to get.
All right, so now you heard the initial news report, and we're going to review a report that our brother Philip Scott did on it. But you're actually right. I'm going to acknowledge the comment that the brother Nightfall Drop made. I remember that. The brother that went over to Greece, he was over there. There's another situation. Over there in their country, trying to get at their women and stuff. He was in a bar, whatever, stuff went left. Old people always told me nothing good happens in a bar. Got popping off in the mall, got in a fight, and they beat him to death, okay? So we all have to be aware of the rules and laws in another country. In other words, you have to think somewhat like, okay, if something go left, you behind enemy lines. You don't have no other black folks to back you up, okay? And as far as it being a U.S. embassy, here's the thing. I want y'all to listen to me. Yeah, you may be somewhere where there's a U.S. embassy. Here's the problem. You got to be able to contact them. What if you're not able to? Think about that now. See, when you get locked up abroad, it's not like over here. It ain't no, oh, you got to write to a phone call and all this. Oh, boy, they'll laugh in your face. Look, let me tell you another place you better not dare go and see. Unfortunately, the sister Shanquilla Robinson found this out when she went down there with them damn rats. But when you go down to Mexico, South America, anyway, most of them countries, man, don't you do it. Do not get locked up down there. Because if you do, what's going to happen is you're going to find out, one, that the conditions of so-called jails outside of these places, it's really like a concentration camp. Let me tell you something right now. There are places, for example, a Turkish prison. You know those have actual dirt floors? Rats the size of cats in there? Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, don't believe me. Do your own research, okay? So what I'm saying is I'm trying to impress upon you, sisters, these attitudes, I get it. It's been cultivated over here. It's been encouraged, but it's not just an annoyance when you leave the country. Your life could be in danger, okay? So now let me give you my main stance on the situation with the sister Tierra Allen. This is where I stand on that because I saw a lot of ignorant Negroes. Oh, yeah, she got what she deserved. She deserved that. Hell no. No. Here's my stance on it. She's a member of our tribe. She went over there and broke their laws. Yes. Get her back here first and we'll deal with her behavior. But as far as a member of our tribe, I'm never going to say, yeah, you deserve that. That's what you get. No. No, that's wrong because, see, let me point something out to you ignorant Negroes that was saying that. Understand that if it was the other way around and an Arab woman was over here and she broke one of our laws, they wouldn't give a shit whether she was right or wrong. They'd be like, listen, whatever she did, send her back home to us. We'll deal with that. See, that's what it means to stay on code. Every other nationality would do that. I promise you. You will never see. Let's just go over it. Do you think you will hear an Asian man, East Indian, Arab, Hispanic man? You know you ain't gonna hear no white folks saying this. You think you will hear any of these other groups? Hell, even continental African Caribbeans. You're not gonna hear them saying, yeah, boy, they got what they deserve. They're gonna be like, hey man, hands off our people, man. We'll deal with them if they need to be punished, but you send them back to us. Ban them from your country, whatever, but send us our people in one piece. You understand what I'm saying? So I just want to make my position clear on her particular situation. Yes, it was very foolish what she did, but see, this is why, ladies, you need men with you, because if you know, and ladies, you know yourself better than anybody, if you know that you're a high, strong person, easy to get upset, start all that mouth. See, look, I'm going to give you a general rule of thumb before we hear what Brother Phil has to say. This is what I tell women that I'm close to. The minute that you engage in a conversation and it starts to turn into an argument, rethink how you approach that conversation, because see, nothing good comes of two grown people arguing, okay? Especially if you out the country. You have to start considering, okay, let me choose my words very carefully. Let me try to think in terms of de-escalating the situation, because one, you're a woman, and I don't give a damn what nobody tells you. You're a woman, and in a situation with a man, 9 times out of 10, you really don't have no power in that situation. So it's better to use your mind in conjunction with the right words coming out your mouth to deal with any situation. And then here's something else too. I operate by this as a man. Every situation don't need to be something you go back and forth with somebody about. Some stuff you just charge to the game, like, all right, hey man, you got it. It is what it is. As long as nobody don't put their hands on you or harm you no kind of way, some shit you charge to the game. This, I'm going to be combative, I'm going to show you this, that, the third. That is the most foolish mindset to operate with. Because see, basically, I'm going to hurt some feelings over here tonight. Any grown person or woman, especially, that's what we talking about here tonight. If you run around operate like that, let me ask you a question. Because see, no, the Umars ain't going to tell you this. Let me ask you a question. If that's how you operate, what's the difference between you and a child? Say it one more time. If that's how you operate as a grown adult woman, what's the difference between you and a child? Do a mental comparison, family. Everybody in the chat, side by side. Picture a little child throwing a tantrum, and then look at a grown woman, anybody that you know, okay, acting like that, and tell me what's the damn difference. Other than their age from afar, their behavior is the same. Oh yeah, I'm going there with it. Oh yeah, everybody talking about equality. We're going to have some over here tonight, because I'm going to make my people think. I'm going to play Brother Phil's commentary on this, and he's going to point out some very beneficial information here. It's going to go in line with everything that I'm telling you, but I'm going to add some more things to it here tonight. Let's let Brother Phil speak.
To covering a lot of travel, stories that's out there, that some could be good, some could be horror stories, because until we make our next trip is actually to Ghana, and we'll be showing you footage from there. But in the meantime, I'll say, we need to start covering some of these stories that's happening to people while travel. Now, of course, I advocate travel, but I advocate smart travel. And also, just as a black person myself, it is a thing called traveling while black. And we also have to discuss those stories as well. But this one particular woman, she is a YouTuber, Sass Tucker, she decided to go to Dubai. And when she went to Dubai, she had an issue there getting into a accident. And she thought that she can kind of plead her case and kind of yell and argue with people. But you have to remember that when you are in America, you are allowed to get away with a whole lot. But when you go to other people's country, you are a foreigner and you're underneath their laws. But let's go ahead and roll that.
It also could result in prison time. So it's very scary.
The trip turned terrifying for Tiara Young Allen when her mom says she was a passenger in a friend's rental car and they got into an accident there in Dubai. Tina Baxter says when her daughter went to the company to retrieve her ID, credit card, and other items left in the rental, Baxter says it did not go well.
She found out that she could only receive those items if she paid an undisclosed amount of money. She dealt with a very aggressive individual, a young man there who was screaming at her.
Baxter says her 29-year-old daughter ultimately yelled back at the rental car agent, she says resulting in her being charged for screaming there in Dubai.
And so she is in jail for one reason and one reason alone. She raised her voice. In that country, a female is not even allowed to raise her voice. If she raises her voice, it's punishable by jail time.
It's been very emotional. There are some days I stay up all night crying.
They have a strict law system that is really based on theocracy.
This website warns, quote, laws and customs are very different, so be aware of your actions to ensure they don't offend while in United Arab Emirates. Now, after Baxter says her daughter was charged with screaming in Dubai, her passport has been taken, and the American social media influencer who works as a truck driver can't leave the UAE, according to her mom. Her mom says she's been placed under a travel ban pending the outcome of the investigation.
It's very frightening. The longer she's been there, the more reality has started to kick in.
In our opinion, she did not commit a crime. Don't punish women for doing the same thing a man can do in Dubai. It's not fair and it's not right.
I looked up the story with this and I looked up the laws. In Dubai, you cannot be yelling and arguing with anybody, even though he did it, right?
Can't be yelling or cursing. That's the part that people keep downplaying. Can't be yelling or cursing. Profanity is strictly prohibited. Strictly prohibited.
Now, you would say, well, why is it that he not going to jail, but she's going to jail? One, she's a foreigner. Two, you're in an Arab country that practices Sharia law. And with Sharia law, women don't have no rights like that. Women got to stay quiet. Women got to let men say whatever they want to say. See, in the Western world, women have a lot of rights. A lot of rights. Now, do I believe she should be in jail for yelling? Of course not. That's silly. But when you go into these countries and you're like, oh, I live my best life. Listen, they have so many laws in Dubai that anybody can get put in jail. You got to be careful what you post on social media in Dubai. They'll lock you up for that. You can't even really have displays of affection like that in Dubai, especially if you're not married. If you're married, you may get away with it a little bit, with all the holding hands, the kissing and all that. They don't play all that in Dubai. You can go to jail. If you don't pay a bill that you're supposed to be paying over there, you can go to jail. It's a lot of people. This one guy, I just saw a story that he was trying to do a fundraiser for kids in Afghanistan. He went to jail because he had a fundraiser without a license over there on his social media. So these people are monitoring your social media. One guy went to jail for cussing somebody out on WhatsApp. They ain't not talking to none of them, talking to the person he's talking to. But because of that, he going to jail. I mean, this is a reality. And as Americans, you better get in your head that when you leave the shores of America, you're done with American law like that. And for the most part, you are. You're not completely done, but you're done for the most part. The moment you land in somebody else's country, now you come and need their laws. You can say, well, that's not right. It don't matter if it's not right what you think. If you don't like their laws, stay your behind in America. And especially, listen, ladies, let me really talk to you. Outside of the Western world, men do not put up with women with mouth. Men outside of the Western world will put hands on you real quick. In countries like Dubai, Latin America, African countries, Caribbean countries, all these different countries, Asian countries, they don't put up with women talking to them like that, arguing. They don't put up with it.
Let me pause this right here because I'm going to reinforce what Brother Phil is saying, since I know it to be true myself, having been to some of these places that he just mentioned. Here's something else that a lot of people not putting into context with this. Family, you see the problems that we have with the tether class over here, particularly the tether class women. You ever ask yourself why they have such vitriol towards us? Because see, a lot of y'all tend to think, okay, it's just because we're foundation of Black Americans. Oh, no. That's not it. That's not it. Let me tell you the truth. What the truth is, like Phil just said, and I can back this brother up on that because I've seen these things with my own eyes. They look at it as, okay, the men, I'm going to be blunt with my statements here. This is going to offend some people, but I'm telling the truth. They look at it as, okay, the men over in my country used to beat the shit out of me. When I come over here, I'm going to get you, black men. I'm going to get you because you look the closest thing like those men that did that to me. So now this is my chance to come over here get up on the white mommy with feminism, and I'm coming after all of you. In other words, they use us as a proxy for their men. Oh, yes, I am. I'm going there because, damn it, it's the truth. A lot of them brag about how they just beat their women down. See, let me tell you something, dog. As a Southern man, I don't like being around dudes that do that. Let me tell you why. Most men would have a very difficult time doing anything physical with me, okay? Most men. In fact, look, family members will tell you it takes several strong people to deal with me on any given day, all right? So now I know this. I'm a trained combatant, all right, in a number of different ways. I can't point that towards a woman unless it's a situation where she's armed and I don't have no route of egress and I'm trying to defend my life. Other than that, ain't nothing no woman finna say to me that's gonna make me put my hands on her, okay? If she try to get physical, hey, I can catch her hands, whatever. Like, hey, look, no, we're not doing that. I'm gonna go ahead and take my leave because I know what that would be if I chose to get physical. But see, that's me being a foundational Black American man raised in the South. When you get outside this country, no, all that, no, they don't have that mindset at all. Now, am I saying all of the men outside in these nations? No, I'm not saying all, but it's the standard over there. Okay, they can haul off and sock you just like they would sock a grown man, and people are just standing around and watch. There ain't nobody gonna try to help you. Oh yeah, shit. Some of you that traveling here, you know what I'm talking about. And when I say sock, as cruel as that sound, that's the light end of things. We're gonna show you that here tonight because see, sometimes when you try to tell some of our women something, first thing they want to do is challenge what you're saying. I know it. Okay, don't worry. I'm gonna educate you thoroughly over here tonight. But see, I'm just back and fill up on that. I wanted to put that part in there because I had heard a lot of people mention that. So let's let the brother continue his statement.
These men could get away with hitting you. And if you go report them, the police can be like, well, what did you do for him to hit you? In America, you just badly say a man brushed up against you and a man going to jail. So what you live in America is not the norm. And you should be happy that you actually in a place where you would actually yell and not get your behind thrown in jail. But if you're going to travel, ladies, understand that. When it comes to countries like that, it's better to travel with a man because the countries like that don't even respect women. If you have a man with you, it's better to let your man talk to them and deal with them, and it's going to be a different situation. I'm telling you, traveling with the man in those places, they will look at you different. They'll be cool with you. It's a lot of things that's different in those other countries versus America. Even though she was, right to get upset because, hey, that's her things. Why she had to pay to get her things? But when you're in those countries, you better study the laws, etc. And everybody know in Arab countries, even though you see so many people over there talking about Sharia, the Sharia law thing, and everybody having a good time or whatever, you have to be on your P's and Q's in places like that. The American embassy, you could let them know what happened to you, but what could they really do? For you in that sense. You look at what happened with Brittany Griner with the vape pen, right? They had some THC in it. Look what they did to her over there. She lucky she got out that Russian jail. Y'all, please learn the laws before you travel anywhere. Learn the laws. In Dubai, they don't want you staying in the same hotel room of the opposite sex. They don't. If you're not married. It's that serious out there. So you're talking about living it up with your girlfriend and you're not married. You better act like you're married if you go out there. But just be careful. But yeah, she is sitting in jail for yelling. Boy, I promise you, she get out of this one. She ain't never going back to no Dubai or no Arab ran country like that. Because yeah, they serious about that. And let me tell you something else. These countries have certain attitudes, even toward us as black people. So we gotta be on our P's and Q's. So I hope she gets out of jail. I hope so. But before y'all go to Dubai looks nice. I haven't been to Dubai. I've known people who have. But please think about that before you deal with anything. Because see, for me, when I go to countries, I am not renting no car. I'm like, nope, I'll have a driver. Because I don't know nothing. And if they get into an accident or whatever, it's with them.
let me pause it right there. What he just said is wisdom. Every time that I leave this country, I do that myself. Yes, for that very reason. Because again, let me remind you, they prioritize their citizens. Even if you in the right, chances are that's not going to go your way. So like you said, you will come out better getting you a driver. And if something happens, they are the ones that'll be into it. And that situation will be likely be resolved, okay? But they tend to try to treat each other with a modicum of respect. And our good sister, Patricia Slade, I'll definitely fill you in on that. I'm glad you asked that question, my sister. I can give you a definite answer. See, here's the reason why those girls go over there for the so-called sex parties. I want you to listen up. I got some content on that that I can't put on YouTube. I'll have to put it on Rumble or Patreon. It would be one of the most disgusting things you ever seen, but let me explain something to you. It's not the average person going over there for the so-called sex parties. Those are those United Arab Emirates royalty, the princes and stuff. How that works, you can't just say, I'm going to go over there. They got to choose you. See, let me go ahead and break it on down. I'm finna make some of the turbo thighs mad. They got to choose you. They might see you on Instagram, whatever, okay? Shoot your DM, whatever, or make the arrangements and be like, okay, yeah, we pick you. That's how that goes on. They got the pull to get away with that. So it's not the average person, my sister. And see, I'm glad you asked that question because, see, a lot of people don't understand how that works. And a lot of people have asked that question. I'm glad you asked it here tonight because it probably would have slipped my mind. But that's the lowdown with that. When you in power, you can get away with whatever you want, okay? You can. And unfortunately, some of our women, it's not just the tether class women. For the money that they offering, they going over there doing some stuff that you wouldn't even really want me to get into on this channel. Some of y'all already know. I won't really go into detail, but just know some people will do any damn thing for money. They don't have no self-respect. I'll leave it at that, okay? It would be one thing if it was just sex parties, but that's not it. I think a lot of you men in here know what I'm talking about. But that's the answer to your question, my sister. So I just want to make sure, you completely in the know on that. But what Brother Phil is saying here about hiring a driver when you go abroad, 100% accurate. The wisest thing you can do, okay? I always think in terms of what gives you an advantage when you're away from home like that, okay? I want y'all to listen to the rest of what the brother's about to say.
Not me, because y'all have to understand something. America is a different entity. See, America treats foreigners real good. But in other countries, the foreigner is going to be, it's not going to go well for the foreigner. It's always going to go well for the citizen. And I'm not trying to get into the politics of everything of, politics say America need to do the same thing. But you have to think you're a foreigner. So they're going to prioritize their people over you. Always remember that. That's why I tell people, research, stay in the best places you can, get drivers, look at the laws, what you can and cannot do. Like I say, for me, like, if I can't say certain things on social media, that's not a good place for me to be. Because, hey, I say certain, not say I'm arguing with people, cutting people out, because I don't. But even on my political content that I make, right? They may not like me saying things on the political side, so they may jail me. So that's that type of thing. Like, so I probably have to leave social media alone if I decide to go over there. But like I say, I'm good. Like I say, on the Dubai thing, I'm still trying to travel all the African continent. But, like I said, hey, even if you do go, maybe see if you got a person that can give you the game. Like, hey, look, do this, and this. Don't do that. And that's the only thing that I can advise. But yes, this woman is in jail for yelling. Boy, I tell you, yes. She's going to be happy to get back to Houston when she's done.
Okay, so now you heard it from myself and Brother Fielder, okay? I hope that some young sister, especially, or any of our people that travel, especially over there, now you've heard two brothers, okay? Phil say he hasn't been. I have been to many of those places he named. That's one of them. You better listen to us. We trying to warn you. Don't get in a situation, because see, look, I'm going to keep the butt with you. I want the sister back home safe. And whatever she did, hey, we'll deal with that as a community. But I got to be honest with you. From what I know, they looking at particularly what she did to violate Sharia law. That's the first thing. We're not talking about like American law, okay? So depending on whatever that is, that sentence, let me tell you something. You violate their theocratic laws over there, it ain't no such thing as no leniency. That's non-existent. You gonna do the time. See, it's not like over here where you be like, okay, you can get some time served or they'll give you an alternative sentence. Oh, no. Oh, no. That is not how that works. So, in case anybody thinks I'm reaching on that, I'm going to read you what I have on the screen here because I try to give a disclaimer when I give you all disturbing information. But I must do it nonetheless because I hadn't seen anybody do it this way that I'm going to present this to you here tonight. So, the following report contains graphic content. Viewer discretion is advised. Fair use. I want you all to see with your own eyes, hearing from their people, how they treat women in the UAE, okay? Again, this is going to be very disturbing, but somebody got to give you the truth because, see, a lot of people that's flocking over there, I guarantee you they ain't seen none of this that I'm about to show you here. I'm going to let this play, and then we're going to come back with some commentary.
Authorities in the United Arab Emirates are investigating the brutal killing of an American school teacher in an Abu Dhabi shopping mall. Police say the woman was stabbed inside a public restroom by a suspect wearing a traditional black robe and Muslim veil. Now, CNN's Becky Anderson joins us live from Abu Dhabi. Hi there, Becky. There's video of the attacker, but that still doesn't give away much detail as to who it is, even basic questions about whether it's a man or a woman.
Correct, absolutely. What I'm about to show you, Robin, is CCTV footage of a person police here in Abu Dhabi say is the suspect in the stabbing of an American school teacher in a restroom in what is a high-end mall in the capital, just miles from where we are here. Now, these images released in the past couple of hours or so by the Ministry of Information here are of the suspect entering the facility from an underground car park sometime before the incident. The figures you see fully covered, wearing an abaya, black gloves and a face cover, or niqab as it's known locally. Now, the abaya is a black full-length gown traditionally worn by local Emirati women. This is the person, identity and gender unknown, and for now dubbed the Reem Island Ghost after the name of the area in which the mall is situated. Next scene, coming out of this elevator and talking, it appears, to a security guard to the right of your screens. And this is what happens next. It moves into the restrooms, which are seen here on your right. And if just underneath the words that you've got on our screen here is a time check, it's 90 seconds later that this happens. She emerges, or he emerges, running to the elevator, followed by others, before another clip shows the person leaving the mall through the same underground parking lot doors. Now, before I show you the scene inside the restroom, I advise you these next images are very disturbing, because it was here that a 47-year-old American mother of 11-year-old twins was stabbed, apparently with what looks like a kitchen knife. She later died in a local hospital. Now, the suspect is still at large. The ex-husband of the victim, we are told, is on his way to pick up the children who are currently in the care of local police here. Now, the U.S. Embassy released a statement some hours ago, and a spokesman from the embassy has just told me that they are working with authorities here to seek further information. And while there is no information, they say, available about the nature of the crime, they say we use this opportunity to remind U.S. citizens of the following. And he went on to list things like avoiding large crowds or gatherings of unknown origin or circumstances when traveling in public, minimize your profile while in public. These are things that they generally do list on the embassy website. Always carry a cell phone, for example. Now, I have to point out, Robin, that violent crime in Abu Dhabi is very rare, and eyewitnesses and residents have expressed sincere shock about this incident, which we believe now happened on December the 1st in the afternoon local time. Robin?
Let me interject right here and correct them on something, because this is what pisses me off about the mainstream media, and this is why you have new black media over here, okay? Let me go ahead and correct them on something, because these dirtbag reporters on this screen here, they know what I'm about to say is the truth. Technically, violent crime over in Dubai is rare. Here's the asterisk. If one of them, particularly their men, sees especially a woman, whether it's a woman from their culture in their country, a citizen, or especially a foreign woman, if they see you do something that violates Sharia law, they will kill you. Do you understand me? I showed you this report for a reason. I'm going to say it again. Yes, violent crime is rare in ordinary circumstances. But if you do something that violates Sharia law there, they will kill you. I can't make it no more plain to you than that. Do you understand? And they know that. See, I don't like it when people sugarcoat things and they know the truth. Because that anybody that's from over there, look, I tell you what, don't believe me. Don't believe me, even though I've been there. Find some of these women over here. They'll tell you the truth. Yeah, listen. One reason why you should never put up with disrespect from these tellers that come from these other cultures, they flee from things like this because the oppression of them is so bad, and they come here because our ancestors made a lane for them to do that. You find an Arab woman, okay? You find one and talk to her and see how that really is, okay? She'll tell you. Oh, yeah, she will definitely tell you. She will definitely tell you, okay? So, I mean, I just wanted to point that part out and let you all know the truth about that. I'm going to let this report continue, though, because we got a lot more to educate you about here tonight.
I just want to ask you about the knife itself. We saw that picture, disturbing indeed. We get there's a sense that this knife was brought into the mall because you can't buy a knife like that in the mall. Am I correct?
There is a supermarket there in which I believe you may be able to buy kitchen implements, as it were, but it's very unclear as to the details of this incident. And this is what we have at present. We did have a producer working this story throughout the day, and she certainly used that supermarket, that very supermarket within that facility, and wasn't able to purchase a knife like that. So it is unclear what happened. Certainly you see, and we're working on this as a team here, when you see the character in the abaya moving towards the toilets, which again I point out were on the right hand side of that CCTV video, you see them picking up what looks like a newspaper, as if possibly to cover that knife. But it is unclear. The details very, very sketchy at this point, and we're working from this end, of course, to get you more.
Okay, so now you heard that, right? So now we got to get into the portion of the broadcast where I'm trying to warn our sisters about how stereotypes of their image, particularly propagated by these white supremacists, and unfortunately, we have some of these women over here that carry themselves a certain way, and it's rubbing off the wrong way on people overseas that have never come into contact with foundational Black American women, okay? Now, I'm going to play this for you because, see, I'm going to break this dirtbag right here down like a fraction. Many of you probably seen this little goofball. This is an Arab man, okay? I'm going to see if you can guess who he's idolizing by the way he talks, but I'm going to let him make his little commentary, and then we're going to come back and break some things down about what you're about to listen to here.
This is the reason why men don't want to date black women. If you're watching this and you're a black woman, listen carefully, okay? It's not racism. I'm not racist. My friends aren't racist. I'm speaking for all men. They're not racist, right? It's nothing to do with racism. It's to do with being masculine and aggressive. No guy wants to date a woman who's so masculine and aggressive. The average woman, the Black American woman, is 180 pounds. Man's coming like Israel Adesanya, middleweight UFC champion. I don't want to date Israel Adesanya. 180 pounds. That's average. That's crazy, meaning more than half of the Black American women are above 180. They're coming like Brock Lesnar. And the problem is they're looking up to people like Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion. Cardi B has literally been on interview saying multiple times how she's drugged people, stole their money, done all these horrible things. And you have all these black women saying she's the queen, she's the queen. The problem with so many of these black women is they're so fat and bulky, right? And they're acting like, why am I not being treated like this European model? Because you're not a model. It's nothing to do with your color. It's just, she's a beautiful model. She looks amazing. You are massive. Oh, but I'm big boned. Look, black people have great genetics. They're very strong. But the problem is with black women is it just makes them go so fucking crazy and psycho, and they want to beat everyone up, and they become so aggressive. Relax. No one's trying to take your chicken. You just need to relax a minute. That's why people don't want to date you. It's not because of it's not because of your skin color. It's nothing to do with racism at all. Read the whiteboard if you're getting confused. These are the problems.
Now, family, you hear this clown, right? He keeps saying, oh, it's nothing to do with racism. And I have a very brilliant chat. I see all of you here. Y'all got it right. The sister RY called it right. Yes, this is one of those Andrew Tate fanatics. Okay, you better watch people that idolize that guy. I already broke him down over here on this channel. The content is up, particularly his views on race and black people. And Dr. John Henry Clark warned us about the role of the bastard in history. Okay, the tragic mulatto types like him and his brother. Okay, all right. So if you want to know about that, just go down in the archives over here. I broke that down thoroughly on what he views us and what he thinks about racism and white supremacy. Okay, but see this little cornball right here. I'm putting this in here to show you something, family. We often stress the importance of guarding our image over here. Okay, so now I get it. This is an anti-black racist and he's an ignorant bastard. All right. That's very true. However, the problem is when people like him are clicked up with the tether class over here that works in conjunction to dehumanize and denigrate the image of black women, then the American white supremacist media, yes, we going here, they promote the Sukihanas, the Glorrillas, et cetera, as if they're the face of black American women. And then you get this cornball over here, okay, out in his rhetoric, it creates a dangerous situation for sisters traveling abroad. In other words, they have a preconceived notion of sisters based on the stereotypes and propaganda that they've heard before you even set foot in the country. Okay, and then heaven help you if it's a situation where they've actually had an encounter with a black woman and she, got out of pocket and did something. Now they just say, okay, all of them like that, so we're going to treat them a certain way before they even get here, okay? And you can tell all the little jokes, you talking about chicken, this, that, the third. See, this flunky right here, let me tell you why he can't talk. Most of them, they want to be white men. Oh, yes, they do. See, I've already said this about many of the tether class. You can't tell us nothing if you wake up every day and you idolize your oppressors. You can't. What you gonna tell me? Okay? You a failure. The most pathetic kind, all right? And you have the nerve to speak on our women, but see, I just want you to make sure that I'm playing this for you so that you see his mindset, okay? I'm gonna let him continue and then we're gonna get into some other commentary.
Masculine, aggressive, not racism. It's nothing to do with racism. If any of you black women want to debate me, you're more than welcome to come to the pond. I will debate you live in this pool, in my kayak. You can be sat there and I will tell you the exact same things. But if you're as big as Brock Lesnar, then you can't come.
That's another thing these goofy white supremacists are always trying to do. Hey, if you can come debate me, listen, let me tell y'all something, family. One thing that I was taught, and you really start to learn it more and more the older that you get, don't sit around debating somebody about something that you know unless it's for a purpose. Now, what do I mean by for a purpose? Think back to it, and you can see it here on this very channel, when our Queen Mother and ancestor, Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, debated William Shockley. She did that for a purpose, specifically to end his career, and that's exactly what she accomplished by doing that too. Okay, that sister was brilliant in that debate. You can see that here on the channel. Just go through the archives. But this whole you should debate me. No, don't waste time trying to debate nobody about something that you already know, specifically if it's in bad faith, okay? So I just want to point that out. Let's let this cornball finish up. Now, I got to show you something. I'm not even going to play the sound of this. This is the stereotype he's basing all his comments off. I know y'all saw this disgusting video. I'm not even going to play the sound of it. I refuse to do it. This, I want you to take a good look at it, sisters, okay? Y'all going to have to declare war on this. You're going to have to. I know what you're saying. She says she's Nigerian. I know you don't carry yourself this way, but let me tell you something. I'm going to pause it right here. You're going to have to clamp down on it because you're going to have to make a loud nationwide movement saying these hoes do not represent the average black American woman. No, you do not. Y'all gonna have to get serious about it, man. I'm telling you. I know some of you do call it out. But see, it's gonna need to be such a loud movement nationwide that it can't be ignored in the mainstream media. Because see, they look that when she do this, they'll put this everywhere. Oh yeah. Think about it. They got the shade room over here, okay? Media Takeout, TMZ, all these all these rest of these little different junky blogs and media sites, they'll put this all over the place and say, yeah, she's a Black American woman. She represents your face. That's gonna have to stop, family. She just went over here acting an ass with her little filthy, disgusting ass. I went in on her ass on Twitter too. You had some simps trying to take up for her. And see, let me clarify something, right? A lot of people say, well, GBS, with the YK Osiris thing, you were caping. I'm like, no, any intelligent person know I wasn't caping. What I was telling black men is, since we don't control the laws in this country, don't put yourself in any situation like that where you trying to force yourself on any woman, because it's going to go bad for you. And you don't have the right to do it. Not even with this degenerate tramp. That's the part I want to clarify, because you got a lot of slow people in our community. They can't really comprehend things very well, even if you break it down in the simplest format. Okay. So I just want to go ahead and take care of that bit of business right now. But see this crap right here? Let me tell you something, sisters. I'm going to say it again. For those of you that want to travel and go outside the country that don't do none of this stuff, this piece of shit right here has preceded you. And now when you go someplace, you're getting funny looks or they treating you a certain way. This is why. And this is why we keep telling you, you cannot take up for the likes of her, Glorilla, Cardi B, Nicki Minaj, Meg Thee Stallion, Meg Thee Stallion, okay? And none of them. And look, I'm going to throw Keke Palmer in there. Oh, yes, I am. Yes. That image of you just carry yourself with no class whatsoever, that's being seen worldwide. So you got to understand, we're in a digital age today. We're more connected than ever, okay? Thousands of miles shrink just like that when you take into account the internet, okay? Don't let this be your face. It can't be. Because as a foundational Black American man, I'm going to speak up against it. I'm not going to be quiet. I'm going to say, no, this bitch don't represent the average foundational Black American sister. And neither do these pieces of shit right here, sitting up here with this damn white supremacist. See, most of these women here, if not all of them, are tethers, okay? But see, where I'm threading the needle is, I want you to pay attention. They're wearing the uniform of foundational Black American women, and they will blame you for their ignorant behavior, especially this. Because see, watch this. Let me show you something. They're tethers, okay, or as I call them, tether wenches, but they're wearing black skin and they're over here in America. Follow me on this. I played the Arab clown for a reason. People will not respect you no more than you respect yourself. So they see them up here with this white supremacist, calling people the N-word, encouraging him to say it. They wearing your uniform. And now when people abroad see that, they'll be like, they don't even respect themselves. You see what I'm saying? So this, you see how I thread the needle on that? Because see, a lot of people get confused when you try to present certain types of information unless you break it down this way. Well, I'm going to say it again. They're tethers. We got that part. You're wearing your uniform. When people abroad see that, they look at it as like, oh, them Black American women don't respect themselves when they should. They don't look at it like, okay, those are tethers. Nah, they be like, oh, nah, she Black. It is what it is. We must delineate more than ever today from degenerates like this that are stupid enough to stand their dumbasses up here with this white supremacist and have them saying the N-word as if that don't apply to them. Because see, that's what they think. They thought that was cute because they were like, okay, he can say this, but he ain't talking about me. Not knowing, yes, he's talking about you. Yes, he is. You see what I'm saying? See, somebody got to point this out the right way here. Because see, I'm going to show you something, right? I'm going to show you something. Oh, yeah, we're going to thread several needles over here tonight. Yes, we are. We're going to make this lesson stick. Family, I'm going to play this here for real quick because I know y'all done seen her, but I'm putting her in here for a reason, okay? I want you to follow me. I'm going to let her talk, and then we're going to make something unequivocally clear over here tonight.
Honestly, because that was my mistake too, because I wasn't thinking about if I post this, the backlash that I was going to get. I had a conversation with my brother who definitely brought me down to size and made me understand that I represent everybody because I represent all black people because I'm a black woman. I'm a black woman. So I represent black people everywhere the fuck I go.
No, the fuck you down. No, you don't. You Haitian. That's who you represent. Especially when you stand your ass up next to Nick Fuentes, a known white supremacist, like you saw in the previous picture, because she was in there. You represent your people. That's on your people to check you on that. She said her brother checked her, right? See, let me tell you something. I'm going to go here with it. I guarantee you her brother didn't really think to say anything until he started seeing how the backlash was coming from us. And then he said something to her because, see, let's be clear. We finna take the kid gloves off. We finna take all the BS finna go out the window when we deal with this situation. While there was the reason why they thought it was cool to be held up on that white supremacist, most of the people in their community do not check them. You know why? Because they do not see racism and white supremacy the same as we do. See, we have a personal history to it here in this country. We know that N-word is connected to the death of our ancestors. We don't play with these races, especially for those of us down here in the South. We don't play them kinds of games. And none of our women would try this. Not of our lineage. Oh, no. Anytime you see that stupid, because see, I don't watch Fresh and Fit like that, but when that started making its rounds, I said, oh, I know these can't be our women. And see, let me show you something about how they don't respect themselves, the tether class women. They sit up there on that show. Now, you see this sister here, the Haitian one, that was up there hooked up with Nick Fuentes. They sit up there on that show and keep going back when both of them clowns, the Arab, okay, Myron Gaines, a.k.a. Amral Foodle, Agent Foodle, and Walter Weeks, a.k.a. Fresh, they'll sit up there on that show knowing that both of them tethers sit up there talking about we don't do night riders. In other words, they don't like dark-skinned black women. Now, even if you thought he was talking about foundational black American women, why would you take your stupid ass on that show? See, ladies, you have to set a clear line of demarcation in the sand about your self-respect when it comes to healthers like that, because they don't represent you. But see, you heard her, I represent all black people. No, you don't. No, you don't, because we respect ourselves. That's the difference between us and you. We respect ourselves. You don't. They think it's cute to go sit up in front of people like that, and they're easily bought too. Because see, it's a whole lot I could say and back up over here on this broadcast tonight about some of their women's behavior, but I'm going to keep it to this. When you start to see it, whether it's the men or the women, exhibit the type of behavior they did, is because it's been tolerated amongst them for a long time. See, we call out our coons and ostracize them. The Jesse Lee Petersons, David Clark, so on and so forth, they can't come nowhere amongst us and show their face like that. No, we don't fool with them like that. You a pariah. But see, well, a lot of times they'll do, they let their coons one amongst them, even if they cozying up with Zaddy, because see, let's go here with it. We got to tell the truth, shame the devil. A lot of their cultures, they teach their children that it's an accomplishment to get up on a white ass cheek. Yeah, the white men and the white women, if you can get you a Zaddy or Becky, you've accomplished something. We don't look at our oppressors being up under them as a damn accomplishment. That's the last thing on earth we want to do. So no, ma'am. No, you don't. You do not represent all black people. Let's let this heifer continue.
Maybe he was just like, no, I represent black people everywhere the fuck I go, and not understanding that I am the face. It doesn't matter if I want to be the face. I'm responsible. I have to be responsible. Honestly, because that was my mistake too, because I wanted.
Listen how confused this ignorant heifer was about what she did. Look how confused she is. She don't, look, notice one thing she never said. She never said, okay, oh my God, I was up here next to an anti-black racist or a white supremacist. See, they don't even mention that. See, a lot of y'all probably didn't catch that when this came out. A lot of people probably didn't really put it in your face that way. That's all right. We're going to do it over here. Notice that none of that came out of her mouth. And I want you to listen to how she's talking, because she was responding to some of the people in her comment section. I think this was from IG Live. And she's sitting up here just blow right over that. All of them were kikiing and cacaing with him, okay, and thought it was funny. See, I'm going to say it one more time. You can look like me, but if you're not on code with me, hey, I can't swim with you. I can't swim. We walk in two different paths. I don't idolize my oppressors in any way, shape, form, or fashion. And if you do, that's fine. Let me know who you are, and you're going to be designated way the fuck over here away from me. Let's let it continue.
And I wasn't thinking about if I post this, the backlash that I was going to get. I had a conversation with my brother who definitely brought me down to size and made me understand that I represent everybody because I represent all black people because I'm a black woman. I'm a black woman. So I represent black people everywhere the fuck I go. Maybe he was just nice. No, I represent black people everywhere the fuck I go, and not understanding.
That's another thing we're going to clear up too with these tellers. Let me go on record and make this statement 100% clear. Those days of y'all playing this racial hopscotch with this schizophrenic relationship you have with us, 1 minute you black, we all black, okay? And when you do something goofy, but then all of a sudden it's Haitian or whatever particular distinction, Caribbean, Africa, whatever. When you do something positive, across the board, negative or positive, you will identify as what you are. That's what you've been wanting to do. We get it. You right. I thank them. Y'all corrected us on that. We used to run around saying, hey, we all black. We all brothers and sisters. Okay, you right. We got it. Took us a while to get it. You straighten us out with that. No, we're not. We're not all black. No, we're not. You may be a person in the black diaspora, but no, we not no all black. No. You're Haitian, you're Jamaican, you're continental African. We're a foundation of Black American. That's good. We need to keep it that way. We're going to keep it separate like that. Now, I'll unify with people that are on code, individuals, but as far as collectives, you tell us going to have to clean up your act. You're going to have to do it. Because see, this right here, y'all going to see why I put this in here tonight. Because it goes into everything that I'm telling you about how the black woman's image is being perceived abroad due to a lot of these goofy tether winches like this, okay? Let it continue.
That I am the face. It doesn't matter if I want to be the face. I'm responsible. I have to be responsible.
Now, you see the picture of her up here all smooshed up with Nick Fuentes, right? Look at this, family. Let me tell you something, man. One of the things I can't stand is being around somebody that just act like they ain't never been around a white person before. Because, see, a lot of you tell us, how do you know I am not foundational Black American, nigga? We can tell. Because when you get around them folks, you act like, y'all ever seen a little dog wagging his tail, jumping around, happy to see? Y'all know how puppies act. You see what I'm saying? That's how they act when they get around white people. That's how we know. We don't act like that around them. This is embarrassing, man. And see, her men are going to have to check this because she's not our problem. She's not. Unfortunately, her behavior abroad is a problem for black women, though, because see, when they see that and they see, oh, okay, yeah, they ain't nothing. They don't respect themselves. I treat them however. Yeah, that's how they think, okay? We got to go further with this, right? Because see, let me get on this Negro. Oh, yeah. I put this in here for a reason. Take a good look at this picture. Oh, Kanye West. Yeah. Let me tell you something. I don't give a damn how much his music, anybody like it. That's fine. You can like a person's music. But do I call this my brother? Hell no, I don't. Nope. I absolutely do not. Because that's Nick Fuentes he's sitting there on that damn plane with. No brother of mine is a friend of my damn enemies. And when I say my, I'm talking about us as a people, a collective. Because see, think about it. You couldn't pay a Jewish person to sit on a plane with a damn Nazi. You couldn't do it. There's no amount of money or status you could offer them to do that. But this dumbass will. So I'm putting him in here for a reason, okay? We got to further analyze some things here. Let's continue.
And when they throw acid, it's all.
Oh, and before we do analyze this, let me give this disclaimer. This is going to be very, very, very disturbing, okay? Let me preface you on what you're about to see. You're going to hear from an Arab woman's own mouth how they treat their women on there, and I'm just going to let her tell it to you. Because, see, we have to educate our people ourselves, especially with this Dubai situation, traveling anywhere and out the country, especially over there towards these countries. Brace yourself, because this is going to be very disturbing. I just want to make sure I prepare you for what you're about to see.
Always their face and their private parts also.
Oh God, I didn't know that.
And then she is not useful also. So it's a punishment which is worse than killing. To me, it's like his intent is to disfigure her, because for any young girl or woman, her vanity is everything, her face is everything. There should be more severe and certain punishment.
Most of these circumstances were perpetrated by the husbands.
It's not just the husbands. There are other family members who are also involved in burning her. A woman is subjected to domestic violence because she is a commodity. She's a non-paid servant at all times, and she doesn't have a say. And if she gets the strength to say that no, this is right or wrong, then she gets punished for that.
That's the most difficult thing for me to understand, because when I look at these women, I think of them as victims, and when people in their community look at them, they think, what have you done to deserve something like this?
So it's the mindset of a society that needs to be changed.
I had been shocked to learn that the motive behind an acid attack could be as simple as what a woman is wearing. It is a freedom that we take for granted, but here it can lead to the destruction of a woman's life. I had heard that there were people trying to change society to end these attacks and help the victims. Run in conjunction with beauty parlors all over Pakistan, the Lahore-based Smile Again Foundation, set up 13 years ago by beautician Musrat Misbah, helps acid attack victims rebuild their lives.
I want you to meet Josephine.
Hi, Josephine. I'm Haley. Nice to meet you.
Josephine is a very brave girl. Her relatives tried to burn her down, and but she survived, although she lost her eye. She's going to a vocational training school to do stitching and embroidery. She's got her work also. आपके क्या दिल में है?
फिर लाइफ होती मेरी अब तो ख़त्म हो चुकी है ना. मैं अपने तरीके से जीती, लोगों का सामना करती जो मैं अब नहीं कर पाती.
I'm playing this so that you can hear this from their own people. Yes, this goes on right now in 2023. This is over here in most of the Arab countries, and let me keep it a buck with you. I got to tell the whole truth. You go down to parts of South Africa, you have what they call GBV, gender-based violence. They are very brutal towards their women. They're not all of our South African brothers, but some of them brothers, man, they be throwing acid in the face of their women and stabbing them to death, all over being rejected and things like that. And I remember particularly, I got to tell the truth about the things I know. A lot of y'all probably heard about this story. If not, I'm going to give you the Cliff Notes version of it. In Nigeria, I think it was sometime last year, there was a young sister named Deborah Samuel. I think she was Christian. And they stabbed and burned and beat her to death over religious differences. She said something in a WhatsApp group. Next thing you know, they took that as disrespectful to their particular faith over there, because in Nigeria, you mainly got three types of religion. You got your Islam, you have Christianity, then you have traditional faiths, okay? And I think the northern region is mostly Islamic. Then you have like the Christian region in the south, and in between you got like traditional faiths. But they killed Deborah Samuel. I saw that footage. I was like, okay, that's just barbaric, man. Let me say something to anybody when it comes to religion. If the God you think you serving has such power, why does he need mortal man or woman to enact his wrath? Okay? We all know it well, okay, if you're going by the Christian scriptures. Vengeance is mine, saith the Lord, okay? So my point is this. God you serving has such power. What makes you think that you have to act on that God's behalf, okay? And to do something so horrific and barbaric. But I just wanted to take time to enlighten you on that. And again, this is 2023. I want you to pay close attention to what these women are saying, and then we'll come back with some commentary.
Another common cause of acid attacks are disputes over a bride's dowry. If the groom or his parents are unhappy with the amount of money offered by a bride's family, they will sometimes punish her with acid. Will you tell me your story?
मेरी शादी वालिदैन ने की थी और थोड़ा अर्सा वो लोग मेरे साथ सही रहे. उसके बाद फिर जब उन्होंने मेरे से ज़ेवरात ले लिए तो उसके बाद और 2 दिन मारा पीटा और उसके बाद उन्होंने मुझे बांध के मुझे तेजाब लगा दी.
किसने किया था आपके ऊपर तेजाब? पूरा बताइए।
मेरी मदर इन लॉ थी और साथ मेरा हस्बैंड था और फादर इन लॉ था। फिर मुझे वो हॉस्पिटल घर को आग लगा दी, मुझे बांध के घर को आग लगा दी और घर से चले गए। उसके बाद फिर मुझे मोहल्लेदारों ने लोगों को दिखाने के लिए हॉस्पिटल लेके गए, ख़त्म हो गया और फिर मैं इनके साथ मैं अपने आप को लेके चल रही हूँ। मजबूती है।
I'm really at a loss of words after this day. It's been so inspiring to see these women overcome these insane atrocities. Today was a day that I'll never forget.
We got.
All right, so now you saw that little short clip from that documentary right there, and I'll put that in there not to mock anybody, but what I'm showing you is if they'll do that to their own women, okay? You saw the results of those women being victims of acid attacks, and yes, they will literally get acid and throw it in those women's faces for a range of things, okay? A range of things, and look, they'll let that slide. Okay? Doesn't matter what we think. I'm just showing you what you could be a victim of if you go over there as a sister and you're not a citizen of that nation. That's what you put yourself at risk of. So for Tiara Allen, she's lucky that didn't happen to her because they will do it to you over there in Dubai. See, I'm a big believer of this. It's part of my wheelhouse and profession to be well informed on things. But I encourage all of you, take in proper information before you put yourselves in unfamiliar situations outside of this country. Okay? So I'm hoping that, I'm hoping that they can resolve that some type of way and get that sister back over here. But I hope for her sake that she ain't trying to buck them on nothing because, look, I'm going to keep it a buck. This is the hypocrisy of a lot of their law over there. Don't think for 1 second that they won't sexually assault her over there. I know I ain't wishing that. I'm just telling you like it is. It is not a game. So I'm very concerned for her safety. Now I hope it's worked out where she can be brought back over here. We'll deal with her as a people. But as far as her being over there and them doing anything to her, nah, man. No. I know how savage they are. And believe me, what I just showed you there, that was the tip of the iceberg. Genital mutilation, all kinds of stuff they do to their women over there, okay? It's sick. I mean, I couldn't even put some of that on YouTube. You do your own research about some of it. But we're going to analyze yet another situation here that Brother Phil came across. And it's a similar situation. And we're going to review this, and it's going to further drive home the point that we're trying to make here tonight. Let's let Brother Phil give his commentary.
One of, the sisters here that took a job in Bulgaria. And Bulgaria is a European country in the southeast region of Europe. And she went there to teach English to the children. Well, I want you to hear her story, like what actually happened to her on a train. And one thing that we have to realize, as I stated in another video, when we're traveling while black is a real issue that we have to consider. And also we need to consider where we're going at the same time. Let's go ahead and roll that clip.
My name is Ariel. I'm a Fulbright scholar teaching in Bulgaria. This is what it's like to be a black woman living in Bulgaria. I was just almost murdered in front of 300 people running for my life on a train. And nobody helped me, all because I was black. My voice is gone right now because I've been screaming at the top of my lungs for somebody to do something and help me.
Oh, man, let me pause it right here. And salute to the brother Cameron H for the cash out. Appreciate you very much, my brother. And yes, Patricia Slade, that's kind of somewhat how they view women. It's kind of barbaric. And it's very insensitive, but yes, they kind of look at you only use as a woman over there to bear children. That's pretty much it. You're not supposed to have look. Not until recently over in Saudi Arabia did they allow the women to drive. You used to not be able to drive as a woman over there. But see, what really concerns me as I listen to this sister give her account here, the genuine shock on her face and the tone of her voice as if she can't believe that happened. See, sisters, listen to you, brother. This is why I despise the simps like Umar, Derek Jackson, Ace Metaphor, and the like, because they believe in lying to women and not telling you the truth. They believe in making you feel good. I don't do that. I give you the truth because the truth shall what? Set you free. It is a protection against a great many things. This sister left this country, and as you listen to her talk, she's literally in shock that nobody would help her because she's thinking with a Western mindset. Listen to me. Not only are you a foreigner, you are a black woman. They don't give two shits about you. No, you don't have no help. And I'm going to say this and make all the divestment dummies mad, the feminists, whoever. The black woman's only protection is the black man. That's it. You don't have any other protectors outside of us. I don't give a damn what country you go to. Their women are their primary concern if they decide to protect them. And you see, I've shown you a snapshot of how some of them treat their women. So what makes you think you're going to get better treatment? See, let me give you another rule of thumb, because I want our women to be properly armed with intelligent information. If you go somewhere, sisters, in these other countries, you by yourself, you get to saying something or doing something, take note at how the other women are looking at you around you. If those other women are looking afraid or in shock, that means you're doing some shit you shouldn't be doing or saying something you shouldn't be saying, because they already know how their men get down. So please keep that in mind. If you're in one of these other countries and you do or say something and all the women around you in a public place are looking at you funny, they're like, hey, oh shit, is she crazy? Does she not know what our men will do to her because they do it to us? Do you understand me? Just wanted to point that part out. See, that's heartbreaking, man. But I want y'all to listen to how this sister's sounding, because she don't understand, man. When you leave outside of here, man, I don't care what individual friends you meet, they're not going to put you above their people like that. Let's let it continue.
While I was being chased with tasers and sticks, this is what happened. So try to stay and watch for as long as you can so you can hear the truth of things that they're not going to tell you. When I got on the train, the conductor told me that I couldn't sit in my assigned seat and that I had to stand in the back of the train for 6 hours with my dog, although I purchased tickets for both of us. After that, a gay guy invited me into his cabin with him and his friends. We go in to sit down, and immediately a Bulgarian man starts screaming at me, "Why the are you in here? Take the fuck up to the back. Are you mad? Are you dumb?" So after a few minutes of ignoring him, I turn to him and I say, "Look, I get it. You're frustrated. You can't sit in the seats that you bought, and I can't sit in my assigned seats either. I get it. We're frustrated, but I don't communicate like that. So if you're going to talk to me, all of that getting aggressive and cursing and screaming, it goes out of the window. I disregard what you're trying to say." He tells me, "I'm a real fucking Bulgarian man. Do you know who the fuck I am? And I say, "Yeah, well, just teaching your Bulgarian students." He says, "I don't like I'm a real Bulgarian man. Something fucking happened to you. You're gonna fucking die one of these days." And the people who were in the cabin with me, they get up and leave, except for the gay guy. They look to the gay guy and they say, "Good luck with that." So I tell him, "Look, I'm not going to keep arguing with you. As long as you don't touch me or mine, we won't have a problem." He stands up and he goes into his book bag and he grabs his taser and he starts to zap it. So I get up, because at this point I'm getting scared. I get up, I leave out of the cabin, and I grab my dog. And I'm doing this to create some distance and de-escalate, but at the same time I'm thinking, something is about to happen. Pay attention and don't freeze. So he follows me out of the cabin and he tells me, he keeps continuing, "Bitch, and somebody's gonna handle you one day." He then chucks spit at me, spitting on my forehead, my eyelids, and my cheeks. So I grab my mace and I pepper spray him. I grab my dog and I turn around and I start running, and I'm screaming, running through the aisles of the train saying, "Help. This man is trying to tase me, he's trying to kill me." the gay guy catches up to me and he says, I'm sorry, I don't know what to do. Like, do I grab your bags? Do I follow you? What do I do? And I say, I know standing up to racism is hard. Thank you for saving my life. Stay with me as long as you can. And I keep running. And I start to call everybody that I know in Bulgaria. I made 5 calls. Nobody answered. So I then called 112, the police, and I'm telling them, hey, I'm on a moving train from Sofia to Veliko Turnovo, and the man's chasing me. He just spit on me. He's trying to tase me. They say, what do you want us to do? And they hang up because I can't speak Bulgarian. So now I'm still running, and I'm running into people's cabins. I run to a cabin full of men, hoping that they're not going to let this man get to me. And they push me out of the cabin back into the hallway. So I run into the cabin with the women, hoping I can hide behind them, and they push me back out, back into the hallway. So I call the only number that I have from the embassy, which happens to be somebody's personal number, not text. I say, emergency, answer. I call and he says, Ariel, what's going on? Are you okay? I say, I'm on the train from Sofia to Veliko Turnovo. A man is chasing me with the taser. He's trying to kill me. He says, I'm going to make some calls and I'm going to call you back. Try to stay safe. Is that all right? I said, yes. Thank you. And I'm still running, trying to get through all of these doors, and I'm bruising my knuckles trying to get through these train doors. And I call my mom and I said, Mom, I'm on the train and this man just spit on me. He called me and he's chasing me. I don't know what's going to happen, but I love you. She tells me, stay calm, pay attention, and don't cry. I said, okay, I'll call you when it's safe. I hang up and I'm running. I'm still running. And out of all the 300 people on the train, nobody is still doing anything. Nobody's bending an eye. The people that look up, they're only looking up in disgust. So I finally get to barricade myself in one of these cabins, and people are still pushing me out, but this time I'm not moving because the 2 men who are now chasing me, because at first it was one, he's been running through this train saying, you just kill you. So now he inspires another racist to grab a military-grade baton and join in. Now both of them are standing in front of my door. The gay guy is telling me to come out. I'm saying, I'm not coming out until they move. It's not safe. And then he ends up getting them to go into another compartment. I'm running all the way back. And then he tells me, I run all the way back to the last train. The gay guy comes and tells me, the people on the train called the police on you for macing him. The police are going to be waiting on you at the next stop. You got to get off and you got to go with them. And I say, okay. So the police get there. It's about 8 police, everybody on the train who didn't want to help. They're now getting off of the train to come and watch the spectacle. The police are only comforting the men who just chased me. And it wasn't until the embassy called and spoke to the police and insisted that they take my witnesses' information and statements that they did so. In the end, the police let the guys get back onto the train, and they make me go to the police station. I'm going to get into the car, but the police tell me, no, you have to walk to the police station from the train station because they don't want me and my dog in their car. So now I'm starting to think that this nightmare is over, and the embassy is calling me and they're asking me, what do I need? And I'm saying, okay, just make sure I get to the police station because these people here don't care about me. Call me again in 30 to make sure I made it. I get to the police station and I'm thinking it's over, but no, it's not, because the police tell me they don't want me in the police station. Go stand outside in the backyard as it starts to rain. So I'm waiting at the police station for 3 hours, waiting on somebody from Fulbright to come and get me. And when they finally get there, they're showing me that the police didn't actually write down my statement. They wrote down things to fit the guy's narrative who was just chasing me. And they forced them to change it to tell the actual truth. And to be clear, it wasn't until the U.S. Embassy called their chief of police that they finally offered me a cup of water in the hours that I was waiting at the police station to be picked up. So now I'm living in a hotel waiting to return to the United States of America. So yesterday I went into the school that I taught at to tell my kids goodbye, but I told them exactly why I was leaving and I didn't leave out a detail. While some of the teachers started to deny that this was a racially motivated incident, the saddest part of all of this was that my kids started to cry and say, we always feared that something like this would happen to you.
Story was very
So now let me chime in here before Brother Phil gives his commentary on this, because see, let me say this to foundational Black American women directly. I've said it earlier in the broadcast, so if you just join us, I'm gonna say it again. Let me reiterate. When you travel abroad, especially to the eastern side of the world, you better take a man with you. I don't give a damn if you don't like me telling you that. I'm a very well-traveled man, and I'm telling you what I know, not what I think. You better take a man with you. And moreover, if you don't have no business in Eastern Europe, okay, don't go to these places. Listen, they despise Black people. See, I'm not punching down on this, but I got to tell the truth because I know what I've seen with my own eyes. A lot of the tiller class, they flee here, they flee there. A lot of them, there's a bunch of them over there, okay? Well, let's keep it a buck. Mostly a lot of continental Africans from different nations over there. They all over there in Eastern European countries. You saw what happened when the things broke out over there with the war situation in Ukraine. Look how they was treating them, right? You remember that? I covered that here on this channel. Let me tell you something. One of the things they don't like talking about when they go to those types of places, they don't like to talk about how the abuse that they have to put up with just to be there. Oh, yeah, I'm going there. Poland, Ukraine, Russia. Listen, man, Bulgaria, places like this. And you heard what the sister was saying. The tellers won't talk about how them people treat them over there. Because, see, I got to call it what it is. We know about the civil rights generation over here chasing interracial sexual access. A lot of them, that's what that is, too. Besides just running from their nations, they chasing Zadie or Becky. Just because one Zadie or Becky may live with you and think it's cool, the rest of their countrymen don't see it that way, okay? They really don't. So now with this sister, again, it breaks my heart for her to be recounting the story of what happened to her. Glad she survived it. But again, she was initially shocked that they would treat her that way. Ladies, y'all better listen to your brother when we try to tell you things like this over here, especially those of us that have been places you have yet to go. Do your research on the laws. Say it one more time. I don't care how mad it make you. I'd rather you be mad at me and hear the truth than not. Travel with a man if the option is available. If you can, reschedule your trip till you can take a brother, somebody from your family, somebody with you, okay? Because these rules and laws in these countries are very different. It's nothing like over here in the West. So I'm going to let Brother Phil speak on this situation. And I want y'all to take notes on this because it is very important if you intend to travel outside of the United States.
Disgusting to me, very disgusting. But also at the same time is that you really got to see the vile racism that happens in these places. We have to understand as Black people, Black travelers, because we travel all over the world. Just because we left America, don't think that there's not racism in other places, especially against us as Black people. When you go into European countries, you have to understand America and the people that control America, who are their fellow European cousins. You think they're so far removed from those thoughts? So why would you as a Black person want to be going to take jobs in European countries like that? It's a possibility you could deal with that. Look at how they lie. Look at how the other guy was joining in. Like if she wasn't, quick enough if she didn't have that contact at the U.S. Embassy, it could have really ended bad for her. And also, I'm going to say something else. Sisters, you need to start traveling. If you're going to travel certain places, especially places where it can be a little hostile, you need to travel with a man. If you don't have a husband, travel with your brother, travel with your uncle, your father, some male you need to travel with. Because in a lot of situations, when they see a woman by herself, listen, and even in their own country, they don't respect women. Women are not really respected in a lot of countries outside of America like that. Women in America can do a lot and get away with a lot. In other countries, women, they got better be quiet. Because if they don't be quiet and they can get hit or worse, you talking about you going to tell the police? You heard when the sister said, when this dude's chasing, say, what you want us to do about it? That is a lot of the response toward women in a lot of countries outside of America. You're not protected by the police like you are in America. Even in the African continent, too. I can't just say Bulgaria with that one. We're talking about women. I have one of my subscribers that has told me many times out of South Africa that, hey, Black American women are spoiled because they can say what they want, do what they want, and the men don't hit them like that. The men actually allow them to do different things versus in our country, you start talking like that toward these South African men and they about to go upside your head. And then you talking about telling the police, they're going to say the same thing. Well, what did you do to get hit? So you really got to understand that. So you in Bulgaria, a homogenous European society. They don't have many black people. And the black people they do see half of the time is Africans, right? So look at what the students said. They know the racism is so bad. They said they knew it was a matter of time that she was going to run into that. So once again, to black travelers that's coming from America, please consider where you're going. You don't need to lose your life or get locked up abroad because they are set up there being racist towards you. I've heard stories out of, when people go teach in Korea and different places, I've heard different incidents that happen. And I'm telling you, ladies, they're going to try you a lot more when you don't have no man. Because in other countries, when you talk about patriarchy, America's not a patriarchy at all. Other countries outside of America, European countries, Asian countries, African, Caribbean, Latin America, places like that, those are true patriarchy in every sense of the word. That's why having a man with you is going to protect you from a whole lot of things. Because let's say if this sister had a man with her, things would have went a lot different. She would have had some protection. Just things would have been a lot different for her. And sometimes when a man see you with a man, he's not going to try you. But when he see you by yourself, oh yeah, he going to really try you at that point. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad this sister it was safe. I'm glad she, could live to tell this story. But I'm going to keep saying this, and I've said this many times before. Why are y'all passing up Africa? Y'all see on this particular channel, I have videos from the African continent. We'll be going back in October to Ghana. We'll be filming things there. Why y'all pass all that vast land in Africa up to go deal with some more racism? I'm not about to leave America to go somewhere else and deal with some racism. Why don't y'all explore the African continent? Why don't you explore the Caribbean? All these nations that you have where people look like you don't have to worry about racism, right? We deal with enough of that mess in America. So why don't you go see all the African nations? Now, we're not talking about Tunisia. We're not talking about that place. No, not places like that. But we're talking about the places like South Africa, Namibia, Botswana, Ghana, Nigeria. Just to name a few, Kenya, Uganda. Just naming a few countries. Go see all those nations. Trust me, you have not seen the majority of the African continent. Because one thing about me, I don't want to deal with no racism. So what the hell? I'm going to go fly somewhere else to deal with it. And for surely, I'm not about to be teaching their kids. And you telling him about teaching their kids. They don't care about that. That's that. See, in America, that's like, I guess that would be like a comeback. And them people in that country, they don't want you teaching their kids anyway. They don't think like, oh my God, that's a great thing you're doing. No, because they don't honor us and they don't respect us like that. So how else you think they're going to come across? But what I will say, just my opinion, I have no dealings in Bulgaria. I'm not going to Bulgaria. I ain't lost nothing in Bulgaria. And I would tell other Black American travelers or any Black person traveling, not just a Black American who could be watching, don't go to Bulgaria. It's not safe for us as Black people. And I'm glad this sister lived to tell this particular story.
All right. So now you heard the report that Brother Phil gave there. Okay. And look, I'm going to tell you right now, I tend to agree with him. Yes, I've been a number of different places in my lifetime. Okay. This many years ago before the world has changed like it is. Okay. In fact, the business, I only recently stopped traveling during the beginning of the pandemic. I've seen Europe. I've seen all these different places. And I agree with Phil. If I'm going to deal with some racism, I may as well stay here. So I had more of an affinity to go towards Caribbean and African nations. I'm glad that you asked that question there, Bang Pros, my good brother. Here's the deal. I'm glad you asked this. I want you to pay close attention to my answer before we continue. What Phil is trying to tell you is pretty much what I just said, that if you're going to go somewhere, go to places where the people are that look like us. Now, let's be clear. Yes, there's a tether class over here in America. There is. But when you go to their nations, are all the people like that over there? No, I would be telling a bold-faced lie. Any of us that are experienced travelers that have been to these places, if we came and told you, yeah, all the people hate us over there, that's a bold-faced lie. No, they do not. It's just like over here. You got ignorant people over here. You got some ignorant people over there. But for the most part, carry yourself with some sense. You go to different African nations or Caribbean nations, you ain't gonna have no problems. Most of the time you won't. Okay, so I'm glad you asked that question because, see, this is the important thing about being educated properly. I'm not punching down at anybody. I'm saying this for everybody in general. World is a vast, beautiful place, okay? Travel is the best education you can get. Don't judge all of any country by how the tethers act here. You need to book a trip, pick a place, preferably where they speak English, and go see for yourself. I'm not telling you to move there. I'm not telling you to become a Pan-African. What I'm saying is see things for yourself. Don't base your experiences off those tether class here because let me tell y'all something. I've said this many times. One of the things you got to understand about the tether class that's so out of pocket here, watch this. I'm going to show you something that'll shut them down. I've said this before. You want to embarrass a tether? Ask them about what would happen when they were children, for those of them that were born over here or parents came over here and raised them over here. They threatened them with sending them back home. You know why? Because the tether class that's over here, they can't go back home. See, a lot of times they've done things where they had to run up out their nations. Okay? So they have a backstabbing culture. I just wanted to give you that bit of information there. So hopefully that answered your question. But see, family, check this out. I'm going to show you something else because a lot of y'all know about this story. I'm going to let the news report play, and then I'm going to point certain things out that a lot of people have kind of tiptoed around because it's going to be very important, okay? Because, see, I put this broadcast together tonight to protect people, okay? So I'm going to let this news story play. Y'all know where it's going, and then I'm going to give my commentary.
The mystery that has captured the nation's attention continues to unravel tonight. A young woman disappeared after reportedly trying to save a toddler from the side of the road.
Tonight, Carly Russell is home after being gone for roughly 48 hours. NBC's Priscilla Thompson with reaction tonight from Russell's family.
Tonight, the demand for answers surrounding the mysterious disappearance of Carly Russell is growing. The 25-year-old nursing student returned home Saturday night after she was reported missing for more than 48 hours. Her mom sharing on social media, "God is faithful and he has answered our prayers," thanking the public for their support and vowing to ignore negative opinions. It comes as there are mounting questions about the circumstances of Russell's disappearance. Late Thursday, Hoover police say Russell called 911 to report a toddler walking alone on the interstate. Police now analyzing this surveillance video, which they believe shows Russell's car. They say she pulled over to check on the child while on the phone with a family member who heard the unimaginable.
She heard a scream and then some type of running type shuffle.
Within minutes, police say they were on the scene.
Just be advised, her vehicle is unlocked, running. All her personal belongings except for her phone.
Police arrived and said they found Russell's car, cell phone, and purse, but no sign of her or a child, adding that no child has been reported missing. Then on Saturday night, Russell showed up on her family's doorstep, alone and on foot, police say. Angela Harris, who led search efforts on the ground, says she spoke to Russell's mom moments after she returned.
I just broke down and I said, "Is she okay?" And she said, I don't know, she seems to be okay. She just seems to be in shock.
Medics responded and took her to the hospital for evaluation, police say. She was released Sunday morning. A man identifying himself as her boyfriend writing on social media, "She was literally fighting for her life for 48 hours, adding she is not able to give any updates or whereabouts on her kidnapper.
So still much to sort out in this. That was NBC's Priscilla Thompson reporting. Police say they have spoken with Russell since her return.
And they do plan to interview with her again once she recovers.
440.
All right. So, yes, you all knew that I was going to speak on this. And let me go ahead and give the disclaimer. A lot of times with certain stories, many of us will reserve judgment until all the facts come out before we speak on certain things, because I'm going to give you a general rule of thumb, and this pretty much applies across the board to all new black media content creators. I'm sure I can speak for the brothers on this. If we don't jump on something right away, we're trying to tell you something. That means that something don't look right. We don't have all the facts we need, and we're going to wait before we really address it. And that's one of the ways I operate. I know many of my colleagues in new black media do as well. But we got to deal with something, because, see, I'm probably the only one that's going to go into detail about this way. We got two friends to deal with this story on. First, we're going to start locally. I want everybody to listen to what I'm about to say. It is not about how the white folks perceive us. We're going to put them to the side for a minute. What it should be about is, in a system of racism and white supremacy, where black women really do go missing every day, and it's never given this type of media attention, this heifer right here, this one, Carly Russell, faked this whole damn thing. And now that puts other black women in a situation where it's like, okay, well, hell, we should never take anybody's account of a black woman going missing serious because of this. And see, unfortunately, in a system of racism and white supremacy, that's how the powers that be operate, okay? So I'm going to be blunt with what I'm about to say here, because, see, y'all know me. I'm going to back up everything that I'm stating. Sisters, this is the part where I can point it out as a man. But see, she should have a foot put in her ass for this. Yes, she should. The community should deal with her. Because, see, this isn't funny. Year after year, black women go missing, and let's be clear. Our people are the primary targets for a lot of these abductions, because we're going to call it what it is. A lot of it is organ trafficking also. Our organs are the most sought after for, like, organ transplant. There's big money in that on the black market. And then when it comes to human trafficking, unfortunately, and this is how I knew a lot of this was kept from the beginning while I was sitting back watching. I'm glad she's alive. Let's be clear. I am. I even said as much on Twitter. But I had questions, because I have common sense and a mind. And I think. I don't just go with what everybody says. Unfortunately, most women, if you get abducted in that situation, you may not get away, because two things are chances are going to happen. You're going to be sexually assaulted, and chances are they're going to kill you to sell your organs if you're a black woman. Now, I'm glad that didn't happen. But see, her parents, they failed her because, see, from what I understand, they're very well to do. And a lot of times when, you have people that are well to do, they spoil their kids. They don't really teach them right from wrong. And then in some cases, you can teach a child right from wrong, and they go their own way. There's that too. But see, this particular situation right here, it put black women in danger in a number of different ways, not just here, because we're going to cover the external part, the international part. Look at everything that I showed you here tonight, particularly that little punk ass Arab dude, okay? They're looking at all of this. A lot of times, particularly these Arabs and other places outside of here, they'll latch on to white supremacists that will be talking about this and say, see, that's all them black, you know what's due, okay? All the other negative names they'll call sisters. They'll latch on to that, and then the next thing you know, Carly Russell, lying ass, will become the face of all black women anywhere. Now, you might say, well, GBS, what you bring this up for? I'm showing you how this fits in the context when it comes to the danger of stereotypes. And I know you on code sisters over here listening to me, you get it. Those of you that are hard-headed, not talking to you, you're going to learn the hard way. You must be aggressive, and salute to the sisters that I've seen challenging this, because I've seen y'all, man. The sisters over here in our networks, y'all on her ass for this. Okay, and rightly so, because your lives are in danger. She's playing with every foundational black American sister's life. Yes, she is. Okay. See, a lot of times, if our women go missing, if we don't find her, they're not going to get found because they're not a priority. They look at you as like, okay, that's just one less Negro to deal with. You know why in particular? See, I'm going to break it down to you. I'm going to tell you the truth about these damn white supremacists. Ladies, my sisters, they rejoice when something bad happens to you. You know why? See, this is where warfare comes in. New life comes through you. They look at that as, oh, good. That's one less Negro we have to deal with that's going to produce more. That sounds sadistic and cruel, but that's the truth. That's how they think of you, okay? So this is where I'm coming from because, see, look, I'm going to tell you something. What I think should happen to her, 90 days to a year. Now, a lot of people may say, well, why not more than that? I'm going to tell you why. Because if you get that help for at least a year and a fine, oh, she going to think twice about what she did. Yes. And for her being accustomed to living the lifestyle she is, oh, that whole year in jail, yeah, she has to ride that to the door. Oh, yeah, that'll change her very quickly. Trust me, she wouldn't be able to handle that. She must be punished for that. I can't look to the side on this one and see. I'll give some people credit because a lot of people are saying, okay, well, since they didn't punish Carolyn Dunham Bryant, who murdered our young brother and member of our tribe, Emmett Till, why punish her? I get that point. They're absolutely right. I agree with that. I'm looking at it from the standpoint of protecting our tribe, though. See, we have to have our own standard. Never mind the white folks. We have to have our own standard and make it clear whether it's the men or women, you don't do this kind of stuff. You don't do this. You don't do this, okay? We can't afford to play these kinds of games. I'm going to play this call. I want y'all to listen to it, then I'm going to come back with some commentary. And I'm going to actually, if you stayed to this portion of the broadcast, you're about to get a hell of an education on another alphabet group that a lot of you probably have never heard of. And I'm going to show you why what she did was very stupid. I'm going to play a portion of this broadcast, and then I'm going to introduce you to that agency. Let's let this all play.
For 71. 42. 71, it's going to be 459 South, mile marker 10. It's going to be a child walking on the 3 or 4-year-old child walking on the side of the interstate next to her. RP's going to be close by in a red Mercedes sedan with the hazards on. Child's going to be a white male wearing a white t-shirt and a diaper.
42 copy from YMCA.
4. 442. RP's advising there's no cars in the area. Looks like the child's been abandoned on the side of the road.
42 copy. 41, you still got him on the phone?
Negative, but she's said that she would stand by for police.
42, call the RP back. She's not at their vehicle.
10-4. CLA, red and color to Nicole Russell out of Birmingham, 10-11.
I'm around on 71 as well.
10-4, we're not getting the female to answer.
42, I copy.
10-4, that's the RP. We're trying to call her back. She's not answering.
Out to the interstate as well. Can you give me a description on the child and were they southbound, walking southbound?
10-4, southbound, walking southbound. It was a toddler, 3 or 4-year-old, wearing a white t-shirt and a diaper. RP arrived in a red Mercedes, unknown what the RP's description is going to be.
Copy. Thank you. 42, just be advised, her vehicle is unlocked, running. All her personal belongings except for her phone.
13, if we can we start getting into Atkins Tram area? Just see if this child might have wandered from a house over there.
34, I'll be around.
Vehicle, the RP had just saw the child walking on the side of the interstate and had gotten out with it when she had disconnected.
We're good up here. You may want to send him the number and see if they can make contact with somebody there. See if we can find her.
745. Next dispatch when available.
4-5 copy, stand by.
Got a call about a female screaming with a child. 10-441. Be advised, the female screaming line disconnected. Found in black Ford F-150. She was on the phone with her daughter when it occurred.
incoming personnel. Just star 64 in the area. We're good down here.
Let me check and see if we have any air assets available to us.
10-4. Also be advised, we're about to get T-Mobile lifting the phone.
11 to 13, 10, 9, I'm sorry.
Family is where I was right down here. The second updated call that we got in reference. The first call we got was from her. Second call we got was from the family.
Right. I'm just saying that the sister apparently has an open line with that phone still that she called from and can hear vehicles like it's still sitting on the side of the interstate.
511, you want me to have McGinnis en route with a drone?
10-4, that would be great.
10-4.
All right, so now you heard that call. So family, let me explain something to y'all, right? And I'm talking directly to any other young black women or young black men that are thinking of pulling a stunt like this. Let me introduce you to another alphabet agency that many of you may not be familiar with. And those of us that are former combat veterans, many of us that have had or have currently security clearances, y'all can back me up on this. Anytime you use any electronic device, if there's any transportation moving with technology in it, the NGA, or technically the NGIA, is tracking you. Let me introduce you all to this. Because see, a lot of these Instagram dummies today that do all these stupid things, okay, you see them doing all types of silly crimes and stuff like that. Let me introduce you to the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency, okay? I want you to take a good look at what's on your screen. And furthermore, let me show you something else. I'm going to put this in the chat because I want y'all to do your own research on it. I like to educate my people very thoroughly. I'm going to put this in the chat 3 times, okay? Then I'm going to point out something very important that concerns me that I don't want to see. I want you all to make sure you save and bookmark that link there and study it. The National Geospatial Intelligence Agency. Let me tell you something. If it moves, they can find it. You thinking that you've done something and you're going to hide? This society is the most monitored society on earth. There are cameras and listening devices everywhere, places that you can't even see them a lot of times. Okay? We're going to review some of that footage because, see, a lot of y'all have seen the dark footage. I've got the enhanced version of the footage that we're going to review here, and I'm going to make some, I'm going to point some things out about it. But this is my greater concern, and I want the ladies to listen to me. One of the things I pay attention to is how society changes as time goes on. And what I've begun to notice that's very disheartening to me, when you have these podcasts like Fresh and Fit with these damn tethers on there, okay, disrespecting primarily foundational Black American women. All right. When you have, and they're not the only ones, okay, let's be clear, they're not the only ones, but I'm mentioning them because a lot of young people watch them. I'm starting to notice a sentiment that's taking hold of Gen Z regarding particularly our women. When they see stuff like this Carly Russell situation, let me tell you what my fear is, all right? They're looking at their women, as our women rather, in their peer group. They're looking at them as like, oh, man, whatever. I'm not even dealing with them. They're not worth protecting. All of them lying, this, that, the third. If that takes hold of the next generation, I'm going to tell you something. They're not going to have any protectors. See, there's a lot of different angles that people are not looking at with this. Again, it's not about what the white folks think. We have to have a standard amongst us as a people that say, you don't do this, man or woman. You don't play like this. Particularly with a lot of women. I've spoken about this before. To the women that it applies to, a lot of women mismanage their protective resources. What do I mean by that? Right now, we got a bunch of brothers in prison and dead because they jumped up to defend some woman that told a lie. Okay? See, this is very serious. You value and respect your protectors, ladies. I know that those of you over here know that. I get the sisters over here know it. I'm talking past you all to whoever may fall across this with some common sense and actually listen to what I'm saying. Respect your protectors, meaning you don't put us in situations over a lie or because somebody said something you didn't like, this, that, the third. And you damn sure don't pull this stunt that she pulled here because they will find you. Okay? See, this is why it's an insult when any of us do go missing. They're talking about they can't find it. Oh, yes, the hell they can. But see, this agency right here, okay, expect this channel to get messed with. The stream probably going to have some funny stuff happening to it. But let me tell you something. They'll say they can't find a missing black person, let you commit a crime. These jokers right here are all over it. Just give you the brief description. The NGA, National Geospatial Intelligence Agency, delivers world-class geospatial intelligence that provides a decisive advantage to policymakers, warfighters, intelligence professionals, and first responders. Keyword at the last part, first responders, meaning that if they want to, they can get information on how to find you somewhere. Look, let me tell you something. The only way that you would somewhat delay the inevitable of them finding you using this agency is if you kept moving, but they'll still know where you are. The only way you'll get away from that, you got to go completely off the grid. You can't have any technology on you of any kind, because if you do, your ass will be found. So my further warning to those of you little goofballs on Instagram doing these goofy crimes and stuff, you better take a look at what I'm showing you on this screen in case any of you are watching. You better think twice about talking about you can't be found, okay? Because see, the stupidity that this woman did, the stuff that she went through, we've seen it. I've seen all the stuff. Family, listen, that right there, man, that can't be allowed to be something we sweep under the rug. I get the arguments that people are making, but see, what I'm saying is, as far as us as a people, we got to have our own standards where we say no, zero tolerance. Let's look at some of it, right? Press release reveals Carly Russell's search engine history before kidnapping. Do you have to pay for an Amber Alert? Jesus Christ. Also reportedly searched abduction movie Taken, okay? That's one thing we saw with, okay? All right? See, I'm showing this for a reason. Police in Alabama say Carly Russell Googled several alarming terms related to faking the disappearance on the day of her alleged abduction. She did, and we're going to take a look at some of them too. Man. She searched for the movie Taken and Amber Alerts hours before disappearance, police say. See, I'm showing you these little screenshots here of different articles that were reporting on that. Because, see, this woman, man, she did all of this, excuse me, over a relationship situation she had with her boyfriend and stuff, okay? I ain't going to get into the weeds of all of that. My point is this. Ladies, I get it. I understand the arguments being made, but a foot is going to have to be put down about this because this is you she placed in danger. It is. We already got enough problems as foundational Black American society without goofballs like this adding to it and making things worse. Okay? If I didn't know any better, and she's not smart enough to do it, but if I didn't know any better, I would think somebody sent her out here this particular time to pull this foolishness. If I didn't know any better, okay? Yeah, man, this one is up to the ladies, man. Y'all gonna have to set a zero tolerance for this. Because again, I'm saying leave the white folks out of it. What I'm saying is this places a target on your backs to be further mistreated in this country based off this type of stuff. They already don't treat us well anyway. And then it carries over outside of it. See, you have to think about it. Everything that goes on in the news cycle over here is being digested internationally, which goes back into what I'm saying here in the broadcast. A lot of these anti-Black racists, some of these places that you're traveling to, they will pick up on this and mistreat you based on this situation right here and many others, okay? And I know it's not right. I know it's not fair, but I'm just showing you how there's a correlation to that. A lot of people may say you're reaching. I've shown you examples of how I'm not reaching here tonight, okay? So I'm going to show you something, right? We're going to play this footage. This is the original. Then after this, I'm going to show you the enhanced version. I'm doing this for a reason. I want y'all to take a good look at this. I'm going to play it, and I'm not going to say anything. I just want y'all to watch. Now, as you watching this, pay attention to the side of the road and everything, okay? Because I'm going to show you the enhanced version of this right after this. Now, I ain't going to even say that. We'll analyze it with the enhanced footage. Okay, so now I showed you the original footage. I let you watch that. Didn't really make no commentary on it. What you're about to see now is the same footage, but this has been enhanced to where you can see it. Oh yeah, your brother know a great deal of tricks over here, okay? So I'm gonna play this. Want y'all to watch it. And then we're gonna look at what we all know now, that there was never any baby and all of that foolishness that she was carrying on about. And again, my main concern is the internal effects on our people, okay? The internal effects, and also how it's gonna look abroad for the sisters that do travel, that, you know, the stereotypes are gonna follow them, okay? See, we got a lot of cleaning house to do amongst our people, and holding our own people accountable is a part of us getting where we need to be as a people, okay? Yes, we do it a certain way, but we can't just sweep stuff like this under the rug, because this is a no-no right here. I'm going to play the enhanced footage. We're going to watch it together. Now look at this, family. Okay, this is the same footage that you saw before, same street. And see, for those that don't understand what I was trying to tell you about the NGA, see, this camera angle, nobody probably even knows what this is, okay? Nobody probably knows what this camera is right here. There's no baby anywhere. You don't see any signs of anybody following her or nothing like that, okay? You see a car up there, the one that's up there with the flashes on. All right, I want y'all to keep looking, though. Y'all to keep looking, because see, this right here, man, this wasn't funny. This wasn't cute. Well, whoever helped her set this up, they can't claim to be a friend, because they would have told her, girl, don't do nothing stupid like this. Whatever you're going to do to get back at your boyfriend, don't do this. This ain't it right here. See, this is selfishness. This isn't a part of the sisterhood right here, because she would have thought that this affects more than just me. You see what I'm saying? She would have thought this affects more than just me, because it does, okay? It does. We don't see none of what she was talking about. A lot of y'all probably haven't seen this version of the footage. Same road. It's just where you can see everything now, okay? Been enhanced. This is absolute madness, man. It's one of the most shameful things I've witnessed and seen in my life. And like I said, it's up to the ladies to set the standard for checking women on all this off-code behavior that we've been seeing as of late, just showing their asses, because see, a stereotype can be a dangerous thing in the hands of the wrong person seeking to victimize you, okay? And as foundational Black American men, one of our primary jobs is not only to just protect you, the other part of protection goes into getting you to follow instructions. And that means telling you the truth, whether you want to hear it or not. Okay? That's the other part of protection. Imparting wisdom to those under your charge. All right? And y'all have to do y'all part and adhere to that wisdom if we're going to be able to keep you safe. All right. This situation was a no-no. They probably going to throw the book at this because I said, look, I said 3 months, 90 days to a year, but they probably going to give her at least 5 years for this. I can see it coming. It don't matter what we think, what we know to be justice. They looking at her as she black. This Negro wasted our time. This, that, third. This is what the white supremacists are thinking now. Okay? Down in Alabama, too? Oh, man. Look, we going to see what the outcome going to be as far as the punishment because the charges are coming. Trust that. Okay? The charges are coming. It's a damn shame, though, because I'm with you all. I wish they would hold the Karens to the same damn standard. I wish they would, but hey, we're not in control of the system, so we see how it's going, okay? So, family, I hope everybody was able to learn something from the broadcast here tonight. Probably ran across several things you didn't know. If you didn't already, in fact, the business, because I want my people to be aware of this, before I leave, let me make sure I put the article link in here to the NGA, the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency. All black people need to be very familiar with that. Some of you probably never heard of that before. Let me tell you something. That's the one that holds the glue to surveillance together in this nation, okay? You probably remember Edward Snowden speaking about it. There you go right there. And you'll see the director of that is Frank Whitworth, okay? Listen, I'm going to let you do your own background on him. And then see who the deputy director is. You can find it all in that article link right there. Family, I want you to take care of yourselves out here. Be wise, be smart in everything you do. Do your research when you're traveling to these other nations. And remember, don't do things that's going to hurt us as a collective with off-code behavior. That's it. Salute to everybody. Black first, and I'll see you all in future content.